But there you go. And what I need to do is I need to put this one out there. Copy that. And now, I want to join. See, I've got a terrible, terrible habit of talking while I type. So I'll always type what I'm saying out loud. That's bad. Hey Casper, how you doing, buddy? How's things, man? I'm just going to tell the rest of the team, who are all doing all sorts of things. Sorry, somebody types aggressively. That's my whole thing. Hey, how you doing? Predicanga, yay. How's things? And the meat shield. How you doing, buddy? You well? I'm hoping that you're going well. I'm gonna just do a bit of that. There we go. So how are we all doing? Did we all have a nice what do we call this? Good Friday. I was about to call it Happy Friday. That's not not what it's called. And watching Iron Man 2. And so I'm dealing with an awful lot of COD Russian accents, one of which, of course, is Ivan Vanko. So my continuing thing of going through the Marvel Cinematic Universe step by step has been continued beautifully by Iron Man 2. I'm halfway through the film, and I am remembering precisely why it's not a great film. I mean, it's not a terrible film, but it's not great. It's just not great. Oh, good. I'm glad you had a good Friday, Nick. Sorry, if I know your real name, I have a nasty habit of calling people by their real name. If you'd prefer not to have me use your real name, that's also completely fine. And somebody's sending me a message. So yes, let's talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I'll put the link back in the chat. If you would like to come and have a chat, talk on stream, this is the way that you do it. You just put that link in your browser and away you go. It's amazing. I'm going to have to move that so that when I'm looking at the screen and specifically at the comments, namely your comments, I can see them, and it still looks like I'm looking at the camera, which is important. I think that helps us all. So Jill is saying that she's oh no, Jill is not well. Jill is down for the count, so she will not be joining us tonight, which is a shame because we all needed our hit of Stucky fan fiction. So we're going to get our hit of Stucky fan fiction from Rob. How's it going, dude?
Good.
I've put you in for it now. It's all about a Stucky fan fiction. So
Stucky fan fiction. Oh my goodness.
You can do that for us, can't you? Like if you could just write something on the fly right now, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm out. But best I can think of is Bucky using that metal hand of his as a vibrator for something, and then
yeah. Okay, right. You know what? We went there, and I'm glad we went there. But yeah, I'm now concerned. So Nick has just said, "Oh, good that his real name." Okay, he's now Nick is a friend of mine from Tassie, but he's saying that if he would prefer to have the name Baron added beforehand. So Baron Meat Shield it is. Yeah, that's not a friendly thing that we're going to call anyone. But you know what? We love you anyway, Nick. So it's all good.
I didn't think Trojans had barons as their titles.
Hang on, are we referring to the warriors from ancient Greece or the condoms?
Well, he is saying meat shield, so
yeah. Wow. Wow. I have never once in my life thought of the phrase meat shield as a condom, but congratulations. We've all learned something now.
That image is stuck in your head now.
It is, and there's nothing we can do about it. I'm just telling Jill, who is really not well, to get better. Poor bugger.
Yes.
I get the impression she's so sick that she couldn't even watch and get excited about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She was just lying there going, yeah, great. So that's not good. That's a terrible, terrible state of affairs. Yes, poor Jill. Oh, and I like that we now know how long the delay is between what we say and the chat, because now Meat Shield has gone ha 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 ha. So it's about 20 seconds.
Yes.
Yes. So what did we think, man? Have you watched this week's episode?
I have indeed. I enjoyed it, especially when they said, "Oh, let's go to Madripoor," and all of a sudden, my eyes are just watching everything, because if there's a place for Easter eggs to be put in, this was the place.
And this is the weekend for it.
They delivered the Easter eggs.
Oh, okay. So this is exciting to me because I don't know Madripoor that well. I know that it is a sort of X-Men kind of location. It's somewhere that Wolverine has shown up quite regularly or gone to find information or whatever. But I don't know much more than that. Okay. So what are we talking about in terms of spoilers, Easter eggs? Also, warning, if you are here and you are kind of going, I don't want spoilers, we do have a bit of a fun chat. So if you're really, really going, oh shit, I haven't watched the episode yet, you could maybe afford to just put us on mute and go watch it. But also, welcome, Casper. How you doing, buddy?
Evening.
Hey.
Oh, I like your shirt, man.
Thanks.
It's very cool. Very nice. Okay, so talk to me about some Easter eggs. I need to know. I'm excited.
Okay, so in the comics, when Wolverine goes to Madripoor, the place that he most often frequents is a bar called the Princess Bar.
Oh.
Now, when they were walking through the Madripoor, one of the signs they saw was the Princess Bar.
Absolutely. I saw that and I was like, I bet you that means something.
It did.
Because they lingered on it just long enough.
Yes. So in theory, in a very small theory, they could have been, 10, 20 meters away from Wolverine having a drink at a bar somewhere?
Absolutely.
Who knows?
I personally believe that there must have been a point in time where somebody was like, canvassing around all the locals going, does anyone want some extra money? We're just going to go into a bunch of packing crates. What are they? Shipping containers. Anyone? You, man with big mutton chops, do you want to come? No? Okay, fine. So I like the idea.
Yeah. So just the idea that Madripoor exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that within Madripoor there's a place called the Princess Bar. It gives us a small glimmer of hope that possibly someday we may see Wolverine, or as he's known in Madripoor, Patch, because he's cleverly disguised as wearing an eye patch.
Oh yes, my favorite when you start getting into the deep depths of exactly how fucking stupid Wolverine actually was for most of his comic book run.
Yes,
wasn't it? Which character was it that said, "We know it's you. It's not a fucking disguise"?
I think it might have been Jubilee.
Yeah, I think it was either Jubilee or somebody, one of those young girl kind of characters who was just like, We've known for years you're an idiot.
Yep. Exactly.
And I like that. I'm down for that. How you doing, Casper? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, but yeah, that was my highlight of the Madripoor. I mean, there was other highlights as well, but that was my main Easter egg that I spotted there in the streets of Madripoor.
Very cool. I figured they'd lingered on it for a moment, so it must mean something. I just didn't know what.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone drags up something with the cars that Zemo has.
As in the old car sort of repository that he seems to have.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. I was like, I like this whole thing of him being like, okay, well, you know, what's your history, or you know, and he's like, well, I am a baron. You're like,
I get the feeling that he could have strolled out of that prison at any time. He didn't even need a bloody prison right to bloody go down.
Probably not. He seems to be very much in control of the whole thing.
Well, he had a very elderly butler in a plane just standing by when he got out of prison. So, you know.
Who does he think he is? Fucking Batman? What?
Tony Stark?
No. Tony Stark doesn't have an elderly butler. Well, in the movies, Tony Stark doesn't have an elderly butler.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So did we have a favorite moment? Casper, what were your moments that resonated with you?
I think it's definitely got to be showing off how messed up things got with Sharon, unfortunately. Like, everyone sort of forgot about her and didn't really help her out. It was kind of a dick move.
Absolutely a dick move.
And I kind of like that. It's like, hey, there's consequences, and hey, maybe think about these people who helped you out.
I thought that was an interesting one. And also, I really love that they're digging into the whole blip thing. Like, you know, you're giving a lot of information as to how fucking weird the world is now. You know, everybody is kind of dealing with the fact that either they were gone for 5 years and had no experience of that time, or that they lived a really weird world for 5 years. And suddenly, yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
they showed one.
Sorry, you go.
I was about to say, they showed one of the repercussions of the blip was that the scientist who was working on the super soldier serum, basically at the time he was working for the CIA, for the American government, building up this super soldier serum, but he got blipped away, came back 5 years later, and the work was, no work here for you, mate. So he decided, okay, I'm off to somewhere else.
Yeah.
That kind of surprises me as well, because especially if they're obviously working on trying to get a new cap as well. I mean, it kind of makes sense to have someone working on the serum. You want that for your soldier. That kind of didn't make sense, but
yeah, it was a weird moment where you'd sort of think, okay, well, why would they stop? Why would they suddenly stop doing research on it, other than that's not the high priority? I'm guessing if, you know, suddenly half of the world's population just disappears, your priorities are going to change pretty significantly. You know, is it going to be answering the door? Is it going to be looking at the screen? Is it going to be survival? And I'm guessing that something like, you know, what's that, sorry, man?
Casper has ghosted us.
Oh God, he has. So Nick saying there should be a mental health register for scientists working on incredibly. Yes, absolutely. That would make a lot of sense. You know, you're working on an extremely important and dangerous scientific experiment. Maybe would you like to have a raft of mental health professionals at your fingertips to help you with any time you're thinking, maybe I'm God?
Yes.
This is what I started to wonder about. I was like, why do they all think they're God? Why is that a thing? It's like, well, I'm totally a normal person.
Because he thought he created the next step in the human evolution. That, you know, he was creating, because basically he was taking Erskine's formula, but got rid of the big cumbersome machine, got rid of the big bulky muscles that went, you know, where Steve Rogers went from, you know, this to this instantly, and just put everybody at, you know, so all the flag smashers are now at peak human capacity. They're not overly big muscle freaks anymore. They're just peak human capacity.
Yeah, which I find interesting, because I have a feeling, well, I kind of had an expectation that maybe it was going to end differently. Maybe that this actual serum isn't as effective, or maybe it has a whole bunch of other side effects that we're not talking
I get
about.
the feeling that it wears off, that it's not permanent. Because
we haven't seen that yet, but
no, but I just get that feeling because at the end of the second episode, one of the flag smashers stays behind where the others disappear because the power broker's after them. And despite all their toughness and being able to fight off Bucky and Falcon and the new Captain America and Battlestar, this one was taken down rather easily.
That is, though he was facing down a whole bunch of dudes with guns. What were you going to say, Casper?
I was going to say, yeah, and they didn't exactly have a vibranium shield to hide behind. So, Steve was always vulnerable to Bill. It's just he never got into those situations where he needed to take down a line of men with submachine guns.
Yes. And Nick, you do make a good point. It is cheaper than putting your actors through boot camp. Like the amount of money that you have to pay actors to go and actually have, all that working out and everything. Just hire normal looking people and then CGI their bodies doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
Makes so much more sense. And which being the case, I look forward to taking up a role in the Marvel universe sometime soon where they just CGI my body doing weird shit. Why not? Admittedly, hell, they made Thor look like something like me. So, he still had much bigger arms. But so, actually, I do want to go back and talk a bit about last week because obviously I was doing things. There was some interesting character stuff in there with Isaiah Bradley. Now,
yes,
I didn't know anything about this character.
Okay, I was not expecting him to show up so soon in this series.
Oh, okay. So you were expecting him though.
Half-heartedly, yes. I was expecting him to be like a season 2 type of deal. I wasn't expecting him to turn up because there's a rich history to the whole super soldier serum, and Isaiah and his grandson Eli. I was expecting season 2 for them, not to be second episode in.
Yeah, right. That's an interesting one because I honestly didn't know the characters at all. So when Isaiah Bradley shows up, I was like, I don't know who this is, other than knowing the actor.
And Lumley, perfect choice.
Fucking Carl Lumley. I love Carl Lumley. I love that he's gotten good work after doing Supergirl and all of the animated stuff.
I just love that in Supergirl he gets to play the father of Martian Manhunter, which was a nice callback to his Justice League days.
Yep, so good. I remember watching Justice League and thinking, I don't know who that person is, but I dig their take on Martian Manhunter. Like, I always loved that voice.
But yeah, he's I forget the name of the character he played, but he was in Alias with Jennifer Garner.
Oh, that's it. That's why you looked familiar.
Because you were doing some frowning there, Casper, and I was like, what?
Yeah, no, I was like, I know him from somewhere, but Alias, that's where it is. That's
right.
Show.
Okay, right. Because I've never watched Alias. Well, I watched a little bit of Alias.
With so much promise, it really did.
And then didn't go well?
I heard it got bad because I stopped at about season 3.
It just suffered from a few things that were going on around it as well. Things and times are changing. It started off pre 9/11, then it went post 9/11. There was a writer's strike going on at the same time, and then so it kind of just lost its momentum towards the end. It was trying to outdo each previous season's cliffhanger ending.
Oh, which never usually works particularly well.
No.
Look at Lost.
Always stupid. I was going to say, that was always Supernatural's problem as well. It's like, okay, this was the big bad. How do we go bigger? Power creep is always hard to deal with.
Well, Whose turn is it to die and sacrifice at the end of this season so we can bring him back next season?
Yeah. I've watched just enough into Supernatural to know that it was always one of the brothers that was going to do some, a bit of sacrificing themselves, and then rock up the next season and then be very conflicted about it for half of the season, and then and that's about it. That was rinse, repeat, and away you go. So Predakanga said that Dr. Nagel is also from the comic canon from that arc, The Truth, Red, White, and Black, which is next on my to-read list. A friend of mine sent it to me, actually. He's like, do you want to have a read of it? And I was like, shit, yeah. It's different. Like, the art style in it is really, like, not what I was expecting at all. I'm just thinking whether I've got any of it around.
How old is it?
2003, I want to say.
Yeah, it's this millennium.
I have to admit, my Marvel comic knowledge is a little bit lacking, unfortunately.
Well,
but the other thing that I'm hoping, really, I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for, is that we get Luke Cage back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because the experiments that created Luke Cage are tangentially linked to the super soldier serum. So it is possible that the work that was done on Isaiah Bradley and Steve Rogers and anyone who else came subsequently led up to the experiments that were conducted on Luke Cage while he's in prison, and thus created, the Power Man for the Netflix series.
Okay. Well, I mean, in that series, there was still talk of him getting a serum, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember what the serum was. Yeah, he got something.
Yeah,
yes.
He got a different variation. Sort of what they were saying was based off like cuttlefish and stuff like that. The armor.
That's right. Yeah.
Because his body was more of an armor than anything else.
Yeah. So here's a bit of a look at the actual comic. It's got a. I'll just get rid of. Sorry, Predakanga. We're going to hide your comment so that we can actually see it. It's got a really kind of cartoony kind of vibe.
Yeah.
It's a lot more kind of extended and distended and distorted.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's super exaggerated, sort of artistic style.
But just going off the few panels that I'm seeing here, they're doing the flip of what used to happen with comics back in the 40s, the way certain people were depicted.
Yeah.
So all your African American characters are done within, reasonable size and proportion, but the few white guys that we've seen here so far have been ridiculous.
Proportions and caricatures.
Yes. Yeah. So whereas back in the 40s, your African American characters were the ones, turned into cartoon caricatures of.
It's very difficult to say.
People. Yeah. But you know what I'm getting at.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
I was really into it. Like, I kind of, I guess mostly because I was looking at that first episode and going, okay, cool. Let's find out what this is all. Well, it was the second episode, sorry, wasn't it? I wanted to find out who was that character, who was the Isaiah Bradley character. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Now we've got something that feels like there's a whole other aspect to the Captain America story that we haven't explored before, and I really dig that that's being done by Bucky and Sam. So
we don't know yet in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We don't know yet if the experiments on Isaiah were done before Steve took the serum or after Steve took the serum. I mean, we know that he was active and went into fight the Winter Soldier in the 50s. But that's not to say that he wasn't subject to experiments before Steve.
I would say his age, he doesn't seem, just age-wise, that would implicate that it was would mean that it was a lot later than Steve, though.
It could be. It could be. Basically, yeah. Steve was gone. Presumed dead. The United States government wanted to move forward with their experiments, and then it could very well be that Isaiah was taken out of the American Armed Forces after World War II and conscripted into these experiments.
Yeah, and I mean, interestingly, in the comic, it's very definitely 1942, I think it is.
Yeah,
because it's literally just before Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and the thing that I found interesting about it was that it was actually based on historical experiments, not super soldier, obviously, but that there was, I think it was 600 African American soldiers that were given syphilis.
Yes.
Yeah, and basically just see what it did to them. That fucking terrible thing of just going, let's just find out.
The treatments they were given were placebos. So they thought they were getting better and they weren't.
Oh, man. Okay, that makes it even worse. So
Yes.
Predator Kangaroo says something about reading that Fitzgibbons may maybe in the next Spider-Man film, as in
Fitzsimmons,
J. Jonah Jameson.
No, Fitzsimmons is from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
As in those two,
Fitz
and Simmons. Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't heard that, but
no.
Just check the calendar, people. Just check the calendars. All I'm saying. Any announcements come in, just take it with a grain of salt. Double check the date.
That is a very good point because there are a couple of things that kind of came up yesterday that I looked at and went, oh, wasn't that it? Oh, hang on, that's bullshit. Like there was one about I think it was in the next lot of Superman and Lois stories, they were going to do a bunch of multiple Lex Luthors from multiple realities, and then I looked and realized it was a Krypton site fucking joke, and I was like, God damn it.
There was another
idea,
where Bruce Campbell leaked a possible script for Doctor Strange 2, where basically Doctor Strange shows up asking him about a certain book, and he replies, well, is it a book made out of leather with a face on it? And he goes, no, but yeah.
Okay, that would have been amazing.
Yes.
I would have been all in for that. I mean, I'm sure that Bruce Campbell is going to show up in the Multiverse of Madness because, it's Sam Raimi. And
yeah, exactly.
You can't. What's that, Casper?
Nothing. I didn't realize it was Sam Raimi doing that one.
Wow. Yes, this is why you come to these things every week. It's just to get all of the information that had managed to skip you by in your busy life.
Which is weird. Yeah, there we go. Never mind. Yeah, yep. Never mind.
Dear. Okay, so the Fitzsimmons rumor was 5 days ago. Okay, right. Oh, that's cool.
Cool. I like those characters so far. I haven't seen the ending yet, but
no, I'm still 3 or 4 episodes away from the ending of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and there's a part of me that's like, can't bring myself to end it.
Away, so I'll get there when I get there.
Right. So Predator Kanga says, I feel like it'd cheapen the impact if it happened after Steve. Harkens to all sorts of case of experience. Yeah. See, this is the thing. I think I love the idea. Actually, I hate the idea because it's disgusting, but I love the idea for the I don't know, the truth of it, that yes, it makes so much sense that there would be experiments before you do it to the the blonde haired white kid,
That's correct.
So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see, and I hope, well, because the other thing is Isaiah's grandson is one of the new Avengers.
That's right. He's so in the Marvel comics, he goes on to take up the name Patriot. So we've already seen a few other young Avengers turn up in other MCU projects.
Okay, so who are the other young Avengers? Who have we seen?
Okay, so we've seen Wiccan and we've seen Speed in WandaVision.
Right. Yep.
Oh yeah.
We know of Cassie Lang from the Ant-Man movies, and we know Kate Bishop is turning up in the Hawkeye series.
Right.
Oh, well, it's her series, isn't it? Isn't it based on her, not Hawkeye? Or
I think it's
a bit of both.
It's Jeremy Renner teaching, Kate Bishop, and I love that it's. I can't remember her surname. I know her first name is Haley. Yes, and I'm a big fan of hers because of what she did in that True Grit movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. She is bloody phenomenal.
Okay, I have not seen True Grit.
It's Jeff Bridges and Matt Damon and
Matt Damon. Sorry, I have to say, I can't not say that anytime he shows up.
And Josh Brolin.
Oh yeah. So Thanos and
yep. But
nice.
Haley herself, she's just 12, 13 in the movie, and the fact that she can keep pace with these 3 seasoned actors and stand her ground is just phenomenal.
That's awesome. See, I personally just like her from Bumblebee.
Well, that too.
Yeah, that was the first Transformers movie I wasn't thoroughly disappointed by.
You know what? Me too.
I mean, still not fantastic, but goddamn, so much better than the mess that they've done for that.
Oh, I mean, so much better than 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I still hold that. Sorry. Somebody has just added themselves to the stream and they're known as Baron Emo. Oh, I like it. Congratulations.
Baron Emo.
I like it. Hey, Will, how you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Sorry, Nick's just saying, it occurs to me that the whole reason humanity had to endure the ramifications of 50% of humanity vanishing and reaping after 5 years is because Tony Stark had a kid in the interim. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, conceivably somebody could have done a whole bunch of time travel and just turned back the clock, but no.
I mean, that would also mean a whole bunch of people who were alive aren't alive as well. But yeah, purely just for Tony Stark, basically.
Yeah, Tony Stark's a dick.
Yeah, I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah. Yes.
And as well, because now they don't have so many people to rely on. Like, this is who we've got, and it's predictable.
Yeah, true. I mean, I like that from now on, the movies have a real sense of, anyone could be involved here. Like, you look at the cast for fucking Guardians. No, what is it? No, Thor, Blood and Thunder. And it's just anyone could show up. Who knows?
I like whoever posted, like, they're just grabbing any actors that are floating around Australia. It's like, hey, come be in Thor now.
Exactly.
Yeah, we see Rusty's in there.
Yeah.
I'm concerned for all PAs and phones on set.
Yeah. But look, I will say Marvel doesn't have a phone-based supervillain yet, so that could work.
Ringer.
I think there is a phone-based supervillain in the Marvel comics.
Of course there is.
I don't remember his name just yet, but basically his costume revolves around having a big red phone on the top of his head. But I think he got killed off during Civil War. So,
well, they've not had proper Civil War. So.
It's always Civil War 2 for the MCU. So that's fine. He can show up there. Right?
The fact that Marvel Comics went.
You go.
I was going to say, the fact that Marvel Comics went for an event called Civil War 2 really tells me that they just ran out of ideas.
Yeah. Like, though, admittedly, I mean, DC has been kind of doing the same sort of thing. Baron Nokia, I like it. How many infinite crises or crisis on whatever have we had? Infinite crisis on infinite Earths. Infinite.
Well, the crisis is infinite. It's going on forever. So that one kind of lives up to its name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, there's been more than one civil war in history, so I think it's okay if they have more than one.
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
So, what did we think of our episode? Are we up to speed? Baron Emo.
Sorry, Emo's hair is.
I know you're doing some real emo shit with your hair there, dude. It's really very distracting.
What's happening? I liked it. It's good. It's more like getting more spy thrillery, which is cool. I like, investigating and deep cover and that kind of thing. Obviously, Zemo is going to betray them all and kill people that shouldn't be killed, which he's already done. So, that's always good. You always like the uneasy alliance, as they say, between everyone.
I thought he was going to betray them this episode. I thought he was just going to disappear and then pop up later. But,
yeah. I didn't expect it to be quite so buddy cop. I was like, oh, okay, we're hanging out with him, are we? Huh.
I wasn't expecting him to bring out the purple mask so soon.
No, neither was I.
Expecting that for further down the track, say, to hide a disfigurement, but no, it's just there because he likes wearing a purple sock on his head when he goes into fight.
I mean, I guess it's because he's an actual Baron now, which he wasn't in Civil War, but now he's an actual Baron with a butler, and he's basically Batman of Sokovia, apparently.
And as we all know, if you're a Baron, you have to wear a sock on your head. That's just how it works.
Well, that's just royalty.
Yeah, that's how royalty works. I mean, that's why Meghan and Harry wanted out so badly. They just weren't into the sock thing.
I'm looking forward to when he comes across Sharon again, and she gets on his jet to go back to America, and she goes like, "Why do you have this jet?" And he goes, "I'm a Baron, Sharon." There you go.
I did like.
It's terrible. I hate it.
I did like Sharon pointing out how ridiculous this situation was. Like, oh yeah, I was helping you out to save you from him. And what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
I was enjoying her. I thought like it was. She was. Well, it's the first time I felt like we've really been given any real character to her.
Well, before she was just like, I'm a CIA agent and Peggy's my mom, and like, I'll help you because you're Captain America and good guys.
And potentially my dad.
Yeah. Well, she's a niece, right? Not her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Daughter. Her daughter.
Right.
But So like I think now before she was maybe a bit of a goody two shoes, which is fine and all that kind of thing. She was still very tough and all that. But now like she's sort of lived a bit more outside of like the realms of like I work for the government, I am a spy kind of thing, which is not that interesting a character. Yeah.
No.
She's more in line with what Mark Waid did with her back in the 90s. So for a long time in the Marvel comics, Sharon was thought to be dead. And then she turns up alive, and she'd gone underground, and she had a bit of an edge and a darkness to her. And that's what we're seeing here. So it's kind of like what we saw in the Captain America comics back in the 90s. When Sharon finally came back from the dead. So I liked it.
See, okay, my theory on the Sharon is that I think that she's somehow, if not the power broker, she's somehow involved with the power broker because as we saw with that bit where she's getting into the real swish car, she's got a lot more going on than just, I've been on the run and shit.
I think she's still CIA. She's acting as disavowed. She's still with the CIA. She's trying to get close to the power broker so she can get back what the scientists stole, so she can, get the super soldier serum back in the Americans' hands.
Look, I think what's really going on is that in her time, between now and Madripoor, she's been banging Battlestar, and she's on their team.
I hope not. I'm really uncomfortable with Battlestar. Just because it's the costume. I've looked up what his costume actually looks like, and I'm like, that's as good as you could possibly do to make it not look utterly shit. But at the same time, I still can't get past his name. He is a ship currently only able to jump every 37 minutes. Like that's 42 minutes or whatever it was.
The reason for his name is that when he first appeared in the Captain America comics, so when John Walker was first introduced as Captain America, Captain America needed a Bucky. So that's where he came in. His original code name in the comics was Bucky. But then it was pointed out to the writer at the time, Mark Gruenwald, that Bucky is something of an offensive name to African Americans. So there was there's a very sharp change of gears and giving him a brand new code name, so it would be a little bit more acceptable and less passive racist.
Probably.
And I like to think that, like starfish, they have 6 arms. So I assume he's some sort of like 6-armed, he can fight with 6 arms is like the origin of, some sort of star that fights was the origin of his name.
Yeah, the fighting red star. Hang on, no, that's a different character altogether.
I don't think you want to being called starfish in the first place, really.
He just lies there.
Yeah.
Every fight just lies there.
Yeah. But look, he can really take a beating, so that's
I felt like I love that they had to just do a little bit of work in this episode to make John Walker a bit of a dick again. Like in episode 2, you're like, oh, that guy's kind of a dick, but also kind of, you're like, oh, maybe I don't hate him.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like he was being made into a dick a little bit as well, because he like desperately wanted Bucky and Falcon's approval, and when they weren't giving it to him, he was like, well, fuck you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like they kind of, not to excuse anything, but I think they drove him to evil by being dicks.
Absolutely. What were you going to say, Casper?
Everyone sees what's going to happen, though, right? He's going to go to the power broker for their super soldier serum, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Totally. He's going to get set up on it. Yeah, they're going to mess with him big time.
So, okay, does he have any powers currently? Because he seems like he almost might.
No, he's peak physical human. They said that in the second episode. He's basically probably the best human specimen you're ever going to find without any superpowers.
I just looked at the way he was handling that shield, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah. But you also got to look at the way he was fighting on top of that truck as well. Basically, it was an effort for him to actually pull himself back up when he was hanging off it. He was doing quite well with the shield, but I reckon a couple of good punches from those super soldiers, and he would have been done for.
Yeah. I don't know. I just sort of had a brief moment where I'm like, hang on, are you powered now already? No. But okay.
He won't be hanging up. He won't be holding a helicopter to a building with his bare hands anytime soon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of assume by the end of the series that there'll be some sort of Thunderbolts kind of formed, right? With him sort of like.
I'm keeping eyes and ears out for any Thunderbolts background character references going on. I've yet to pick up on any, but I'm keeping an eye and an ear out.
Okay, so
because you can see him like being like being like stopped by Bucky and Falcon after he's been super soldiered and all this kind of thing. And then, Ross comes to him as like, hey, I'm starting a team. And it's like, Ross's own little personal superhero team that he sort of makes with him, and maybe Sharon, since she's banging his friend.
So actually, is that the thing? I don't know, Casper. I'm a little like you sometimes in that I'm not as au fait with the whole Marvel Comics backstory stuff. I'm like, what's in the movies and the TV is kind of where I'm at. So the Thunderbolts are essentially bad guy Avengers?
Suicide Squad, basically.
Oh, no. The original Thunderbolts were... So back in the mid-90s, all your top-tier main heroes, like the Avengers and the Fantastic Four, were written out of Marvel Comics. They were gone. Presumed dead. They were gone. So a new superhero team...
Just why? Was it a marketing thing, or was it
it was a marketing thing. Basically, they were shipped off to Image to be done as Heroes Reborn, to be edgier 90s versions of, what was done back in the 60s. Didn't quite work. Think of it as Ultimates, the beta version of the Ultimate series, of the Ultimate stuff.
I like
so we had Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men and stuff like that. Stuff that actually succeeded. Years before that, they tried that with, Fantastic Four, Avengers, Iron Man, and Captain America, and it didn't quite work. Okay, so mid-90s, basically, you got no Avengers and you got no Fantastic Four. This brand new superhero team pops up out of nowhere. They're bright, they're colourful, they're heroic. They look great on a splash page. Everybody loves them. The first issue it's by the book superhero, first issue superhero team, story being told. And then it gets to the final page where it's revealed that the 6 new superheroes are actually 6 well-known supervillains led by Baron Zemo in the guise of Major Victory or whatever his name was. So basically, you had a whole bunch. You had these heroes that were really secretly villains posing as heroes, and it was a bombshell of a reveal back before we had the internet, so it wasn't spoiled by anyone, and it just took everybody by surprise.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So, Will, were you reading at that point in time? Were you aware of that?
No. I just, I like to keep abreast of things. I'm very well read and learned. I am a baron, after all.
Yes. Baron, my apologies.
Regardless, being a baron of emo, we are very well read. Quite depressed, but very well learned.
Right. Good. I'm so glad. Okay, so I'm learning shit here. So it's essentially a Marvel Suicide Squad type thing, but where the bad guys have been hiding as superheroes. And one of those was the US agent.
Yeah. At a certain point, I think he was in some sort of like superhero team, right?
Right. Well, I assume so.
Okay, going back to the comics, at one point, this was a rather cool moment in the whole John Walker Marvel comics. At one point, he'd fallen in battle. Basically, he'd lost one arm and lost a leg. So he was retired from superhero life. He got a job as a warden for a supervillain maxi prison.
Right.
This is around the time that they tried to do Thunderbolts as a Suicide Squad type thing. So John Walker was getting around in a wheelchair. He had, one good leg, he had one good arm and a hook on a bloody prosthetic, and still was able to kick ass.
Right.
Now, look, there's a way for him to be desperate enough to go and get super soldier serum. If he gets, in the next week or two, gets the shit beat out of him and loses an arm, loses a leg, and suddenly the power broker's there and he can be better than he was. That's not a uncompelling way to make him sort of desperate enough to become a supervillain with superpowers, kind of thing.
Yeah, I kind of dig that. I like the idea that there is, and I guess one thing that I've noticed is that Marvel has been doing a lot of good work in essentially giving good explanations for why their villains are their villains.
Yes.
You know,
there's no mustache twirling. There's no evil for the sake of being evil. There's no trying to blow up the sun because I can type thing. It's, they've got a motivation. They're the hero of their own story. There is Russian. They can see what they're doing is the right thing, even though the rest of the world going, maybe not. Good story, still murder.
Yeah,
I feel like she. What's the main villain's name now? I keep forgetting her name. I feel like she kind of crossed that line a little bit with that end scene where she just blew up the car and set the place on fire.
Yeah.
Carly.
Yeah.
Carly. Yeah. Our big, deep, worst, most evil person in the entire show, Carly.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, she's had a gender swap, right? Because that was Carl Morgan Powell in the comics was the Flag Smasher, so they've made it a her.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I was almost on her side. Like, there's why are you fighting against these people besides the fact they've got the super soldier serum? And then I was like, and there we go.
But that's like an interesting way to discuss sort of activism in the world we're in, at the moment, because you see the response to Black Lives Matter and the Extinction Rebellion and that kind of thing, where people are going you're going too far by doing this kind of thing, but it's the only way so it's like a sort of superhero way of kind of getting into that discussion, which makes sense with sort of the themes they've been talking about with Isaiah and all that kind of stuff too.
It is, and I think it's really interesting that a show like this is actually having a go at doing that. To me, it's a little bit surprising in a way that they're kind of, because I think everyone was expecting this to just be, the big Marvel actiony, adventure show, lots of flying around as Falcon and all that kind of stuff. But there is a surprising. Sorry, somebody's ringing. I don't know why.
Sorry, no, that's me.
Oh, that's okay. You're popular. I can't help it if you're popular.
No, it's weird. I'm at a friend's place and his computer keeps saying that an audio thing's been disconnected and reconnected.
Oh,
I don't know why it's happening.
It's because it hates you, and I'm sorry. But no, I love the fact that a TV show that is, for all the world, everyone was expecting it to just be a big action thing, is actually having a bit of a go at saying some really interesting shit about, as you say, about activism, about also race, the fact that there is, really spending some time, and I hope they spend more time on it, on the Isaiah Bradley character, on Sam Wilson, that whole thing of, you're Black Falcon.
I mean, I did see when Falcon was in the plane at the end there, and he mentioned Isaiah in front of Zemo, and Zemo's ears kind of sort of see him perking up a little bit at the mention of this super soldier kind of thing. So I kind of wonder if this German guy is going to go kill Isaiah, and that's what sort of sends maybe his grandson into action, and we're going to go into the more comics history.
I can imagine that. And what do we think of our show up of the Dora Milaje? Dora Milaje?
Yeah, great. That's cool. It makes sense. Yeah, it's nice to.
Sense. Although
they always look very cool.
they do. Okay, one of you talk at the right time. Rob, now you talk.
Sorry, she wasn't the one that I was expecting. I was expecting Black Panther's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend to be the one to show up. But it makes sense that the one who did show up because she was the one in Civil War. So, there's a nice little tie over there.
Okay, I didn't actually realize that
I
was.
wasn't sure if it was the same one or if it was someone else. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But
I guess because we haven't seen her for a few years.
yeah, maybe.
So we're talking Okoye, I think, is the head of the Dora Milaje. That's Denai
no.
Guerrero. So hang on, I'm gonna just do my usual trick of sharing the screen, so that you can all see what the fuck I'm talking about. Damn it, yes, Chrome tab, Okoye, that one there. So this person, Okoye.
No, it wasn't her. She didn't show up at the end of Winter Soldier.
Okay.
She didn't show up at the end of this episode. That wasn't her.
Right.
The one we saw, I don't know if you better pull up images or not, but yeah, if you go back and watch Civil War, Black Panther is getting around Europe with a couple of his bodyguards, and one of his bodyguards from that movie is the one that we saw at the end of tonight's episode.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it looks like someone else to me, but
yeah. Yeah, we're seeing whoever it is. I'm not sure.
I think it's just like another. It's just another Dora Milaje. It's not the.
Yeah.
Same
I mean,
one.
it was a nice, clear, image that is
Who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a member of the Dora. Cool. We that's nice and clear, but maybe not the one actor that we were expecting. But even still, you're just like, oh shit, it's her. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it her? Is it one of the others from the background?
Oh,
Might be. I'm sure someone will figure it out. That's not us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there will be a whole
it
bunch of that.
It would have said her name in the credits. I just haven't.
That is absolutely true. Ao, I think is the character's name.
But
there's an awful lot of love for what's the name from Sharon Carter as I look at all these other things.
Yeah,
a lot of love. Okay, I'm just gonna go. I think the character may be Ao.
Nope.
While Quinny's doing that, how do we feel about Zemo dancing in the club?
You know what I had flashbacks to? Spider-Man 3 when Tobey Maguire with no haircut.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was just a bit of dad. It was just a bit of dad dancing.
Yeah,
I know. But he had that slick haircut with that very sharp part down one side, and he was doing a Peter Parker dance there. So
Yeah, but there was none of this.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah, I think we'll save the Spider-Man 3 flashbacks for the new Spider-Man movie in December. That will probably, since Toby's allegedly in that.
But though
everyone's allegedly in that.
Yeah, I have some very big question marks about all of that because
look, apparently someone. A fast food delivery person apparently delivered something to a house in Atlanta while they were filming it, and apparently Tobey Maguire answered the door, and apparently he was very rude.
That kind of does not surprise me.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Toby's a bit of a health food freak, so I don't think he'd be getting the buddy home delivery fast food.
I'm sure you can get vegan.
He ordered a poke bowl.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
Look, I kind of hope that they're in there, but there's a part of me that goes, I'll be perfectly fine if they're not.
I'm kind of really on the thing of Spider-Verse was great. Let's just let Spider-Verse be its own thing, and not everything has to be Spider-Verse.
Exactly. It's too soon to introduce a Spider-Verse into the proper MCU. Just give it.
The problem is that most of the storylines that people remember are the Spider-Verse, Spider-Clone, Spider-Series. and your symbiote sort of stuff. That sort of sticks out in a lot of people's brains. Outside of that, not a lot of people know of a lot of Spider-Man.
And Green Goblin, which they haven't touched yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then
they've never done the Green Goblin well.
Yeah.
No.
And they keep hinting at like the Sinister Six, and they've just never done that either.
That's the thing, like with all these things, and DC did it too. And weirdly, it's always not weirdly, it's always like the companies who are playing catch up who rush into this stuff too early. But it's like they rushed into Justice League too soon, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do the Sinister Six." Like you barely had one movie,
Exactly. Slow down a bit.
Pay your dues a little before you start getting into
Though I heard an interesting thing with that, and I actually kind of took it as a really interesting take on the whole DC Marvel fight. That specifically Justice League. Now, have we all spent the 4.5 hours and watched the Snyder Cut?
I watched about like 2.5 hours so far.
Okay,
I'm considering switching to the Justice's Grey version for the other one.
Oh.
I hit that mark too. I hit the 2.5 hour mark. It's like I've still got an hour and a half. I'll do this tomorrow. And it's like, no, I'll just power through, play some games on the other screen, and just keep going. It just that 2.5 hour mark is where I hit my sort of limit with it. It's like, this is just.
It was a lot. Like, make no mistakes, it was a lot. But the thing that I found interesting about that, there was this comment that they did something very different with that film as opposed to the way that Marvel has done it, where they've built up characters and then you throw them together. What DC did was they gave you a film that put them all together and set up 5 or 6 other films that could then go from there. So it was building in a different way. It wasn't trying to it was sort of building your core base and then letting it run, as opposed to all of the external parts feeding in and making something stronger. So whether it worked or not.
I heard they just cancelled like 2 offshoot movies today. So they just cancelled Ava DuVernay's New Gods, and then they cancelled a Aquaman spin-off as well. So
I saw that from Quinny's Twitter. With the New Gods, it's like, oh, that's what they were talking about with New Gods. Like, that would have been kind of amazing what they were talking about.
And Ava DuVernay is a really interesting director, and I'm like, fuck. Why?
I wonder, had they gone ahead with the New Gods, would that have been seen as being too similar to Marvel's Eternals? Because I've always seen Marvel's Eternals, mythology is very similar to DC's New Gods mythology.
Came about at very similar times. Like they were both Kirby being hired to try and make shit weird.
Well, that's like the ever fun thing that I love, which is the whole Captain Marvel thing.
Do you mean as in the Shazam version of Captain Marvel, or?
Oh, the Captain Marvel, I read that up because like, what is going on with this? It's like, why is he Shazam? But also Captain Marvel, and then I had to look it up. It's like, oh, this huge just legal drama.
I think for me, what would be interesting, like if they don't, if they're not doing New Gods kind of thing, and she was working on New Gods with Tom King anyway, I think if they did a movie of his Mr. Miracle short series, that would be really good, and a good way to sort of explore like more of Apocalypse and the New Gods, but make it more about like one character rather than a big.
I think it could have been great.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, like if there's one thing that the Snyder Cut did do a pretty good job of, it was actually setting up the whole Fourth World stuff. Like you were introduced to a pretty impressive version of Darkseid. You get to see Granny fucking goodness of all things.
What's he played by Ed Asner?
Yeah, no, and that's I consider that to be one of the greatest shames of all time.
I will say I've met Ed Asner, and he's quite Granny Goodness like in real life.
Vicious and cruel, and
yeah, a little. He's very nice, but he's quite like look, he's kind of like cranky, but like right, in like a sort of lovable way.
Oh, and now Nick's just gone with Betty White as Granny Goodness. Absolutely. I mean, she is going to outlive us all, and do it with style. So yeah, I think that's my theory on it was that now that the Snyder Cut's out there, and there is a semi-definitive version of the Fourth World stuff, that they're probably gone, fuck, maybe we can't give a director like Ava DuVernay like actual carte blanche. Now there's something, there's strictures to work within, and you can't just go fucking have at it.
I kind of wonder if they're a bit like, maybe we should stay away from Darkseid for a while so these people don't complain about us like erasing Zack Snyder's, masterful black and white 4x3 vision.
Like, the thing that shits me is I really like the film. I think it's a far better film than the other one. Like, it's so much more comprehensible, and like much like the director's cut of Batman versus Superman, it's actually a finished film. Yeah. But it still sets a shitty precedent for a lot of people to believe that bitching and moaning and being fucking nasty online is going to get you exactly what you want.
Well, some of them are even going on to IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and giving the new Godzilla King Kong movie bad ratings in purpose of making it tank so that Warner Brothers will wake up and, suddenly create more Snyderverse movies.
as Nick says.
That's what that was all about.
Yeah, it's the best film in the Murderverse, but it's still in the Murderverse. Yes. And I think of that as a bit like the Transformers movies. Like, I like to think of all of those first 6 or whatever it is, stupid fucking Transformers movies, not so much the first one, but everything from 2 onwards as being the Transformers Murderverse.
Yes.
I was reading...
you go.
There you go. Okay, I was on. It's a very short aside, so you can keep going. But I was reading on Twitter last night. Apparently, Zach Stentz, who's like a film writer and all this kind of thing, he was brought into like the touch-up room on the script for Transformers 4, like to sort of like make it a bit more better kind of thing. Apparently, whatever the director's name is, who I forget, Michael Bay, and the other.
I like that you've forgotten his name.
Yeah, well, apparently him and the other writer were just like progressively getting more and more eye-rolly as he continued to ask, but what are the Transformers movies really about? Like, who are the characters? And they were just like, just get to the robots. Shut up.
And to be honest, there's a large part of me that is in agreement with that, which is just get to the fucking robots.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where the movies went wrong. There was not enough getting to the fucking monkey.
I think like with Transformers, right? Like the robots are sort of beings or people in their own right. So you don't actually need like a Shia LaBeouf or a child abuser like hanging out with the laws in his pocket to to like make them interesting characters.
That still stands as the single most creepy moment in any of those films.
It makes no sense as well. The actresses. Sorry.
You go, Casper. It makes no sense because the actress is of legal age.
Of legal age when they were filming. Like, so you went out of your way to add this scene.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. You made a point of adding this in so that somebody that you're aware of who's probably been this can actually then go, no, it's the Romeo and Juliet clause. No.
As we've learned, though, to be fair, in America, there is probably a sizable percentage of people who would be like, yeah, just let like it's not his fault. It's legal. Don't worry about it. Like a lot of the Republican Party and that kind of thing. They seem fine with it.
Yeah, well, absolutely, and I'm pretty sure many of them have used that particular clause many times.
Yes.
Others
Currently.
similar to it.
Yeah.
I'm actually going. So somebody in the chats asked the question, "What the shit? What are we talking about here?" So I'm going to ping the DCMA demons and share this particular fucking terrifying moment in cinematic history. So here we go.
Transformers.
And Age of Extinction. So this is in the actual movie with the sound. Yeah, hopefully we'll get.
Oh my God.
Okay. Quiet.
Oh, bright side, you guys met.
Where's he from?
Told you he's a driver from Texas.
Texas? Where? Dublin, Texas? Shamrock, Texas? Then why does he sound like a leprechaun?
You get your ass kicked, Marlon, for saying that.
Oh, we're not in Ireland. Lucky Charms, we're in Texas. He drives? What do you mean he drives? Like for a living?
Yeah. He makes a living.
Thank you.
Look, I race rally cars. One driver, one navigator. Her. By the way, I'm totally legit. I just got picked up by Red Bull. And just so you know, my life savings was in that car back there.
This is not happening.
Oh, it definitely is.
How old are you?
20.
She's a 17-year-old girl. So we can work this two ways. One, I punch you right in the mouth and you call the police on me.
Dad.
Or two, I just call the cops on you because this is illegal. She's a minor.
We're protected by the Romeo and Juliet laws.
We dated for a little while. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. It's fine.
No, it's not fine.
We've got a pre-existing juvenile foundational relationship. Statute 2705-3.
What? Texas statute? That'd be fun.
Oh,
Romeo and Juliet, huh? You know how those two ended up?
That
yes.
is the single most fucked thing ever put on film.
I would.
Laminated card. I forgot about that
I
part.
would
I just
sooner
forgot
go
about
back to
He hasn't
Transformers 2.
laminated.
I would sooner go back to Transformers 2 and watch more of those two dogs humping than watch
Yes.
any more of that.
I'd forgotten, like, I remember that moment, but I'd forgotten just how completely fucked it was. Like, a bit of just quiet racism, a little bit of, parental abuse.
Their acting
And,
was horrible.
laminated pedophile laws. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Michael Bay, for laminating the pedophile law.
Yeah. I can just imagine the character being like, "Oh, I get a lot of beer spilt on it at pubs and that kind of thing. I don't want to keep printing it off."
Yeah. You see, I find it really easy to show it to the next 17-year-old, and that way I can just say, "No, I knew you when you were 15, and I was only 22." Fucking what?
Wait, he's Irish
Creepy.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that he was Irish. When he first showed up, I thought, "Oh fuck, is he an Australian?" No.
Actually, that guy in Falcon and the Winter Soldier is Australian.
He is, and
Yes,
I'm
he
like,
is.
I had no idea who he is. I've never seen him in anything.
no.
Okay, but earlier in tonight's episode, there was a character by the name of Selby who is basically this intimate person. Sorry, this person who runs before the power broker. Her accent kept changing. I wasn't quite sure if she was British, Australian, or South African. It kept on just going all over the place.
I think that's what the South African accent is, right? Isn't that just like it just switches between British and Australian, and then
and a little bit of Dutch. It's actually a lot of Dutch, but yeah. I'm always careful because I spent some time in South Africa, so I they'll come and find me.
Yeah, I guess I'll do an IMDb search later and look up the actress who played the part. But yeah, I couldn't find it tonight. But yeah, her accent was just, I couldn't quite nail it down. At one point, she was saying,
I don't know that she could either.
No.
Look,
I mean, she wasn't
acting
around
in-
for long.
Acting
No,
in a
that's true.
pandemic is hard, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Very hard. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, right. Interesting character, interesting choice, because she was definitely one of the weak points of the episode where I was like, I don't know.
I was kind of like, after they'd introduced Sharon later, I was like, why didn't they just make Sharon Selby?
Yes.
That
I
would've
mean,
been-
I'm guessing that because they're going to use Sharon a lot more later.
Yeah,
I feel
well,
like she's got a lot.
She didn't need to be shot and killed.
No.
But, yeah.
For a good
Okay,
point. Yes.
Here's the question: who shot Selby? Did Sharon shoot her, or did someone else shoot her?
I think it was somebody else.
Oh, but it'd be very interesting if it was Sharon.
Yeah,
So
was,
was Sharon-
was Sharon the guardian angel who shot the other people in the alleyway?
I
with the
think so,
sniper
yeah.
rifle? Yeah, okay. So then probably was the
Though that then, yes, there was a second shooter on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, it was number 5 from Umbrella Academy.
I'd like the idea of it being Sharon because I have a feeling that there's some fucking dark shit that she's been getting up to, like
Well,
in the past 5 years.
Okay, so
I think she might be. Oh, okay. Nick's
so-
saying that she was angry that she's dead, though. So,
okay.
But that's what she would say.
yeah, absolutely. If
she's
she was the power
she's a
broker,
spy. Yeah, she's a spy. So
yeah,
Because that was
Totally.
that was the next
and
question.
look,
Are we going to?
when they were walking through, there was graffiti on the wall that said "Power Broker is watching," and who was watching? It was Sharon was watching.
yeah, true. See, the hints are there. Sorry, you were going to say,
Yeah.
Casper. Next question.
Was that with the power broker? Is it going to be someone we know, or it's going to be another reference to the comics?
Or it's Sharon Carter who has teamed up with Sharon Strzelecki.
What?
And the power brokers are the two Sharons coming together. Magda Zubanski finally joins the MCU
as Mephisto. Like some kind of weird buddy cop thing where it's just the Sharons.
That makes my joke
going to hell.
My joke from earlier better because then she can go, I think he's a baron, Sharon.
And they both go,
I don't know if that joke's getting better per se.
Better is a very, very loose kind of phrase there.
Better in like a Family Guy way where any pop culture reference makes the joke better.
Yeah.
Better.
But can you take a villain seriously if they're wearing a netball bib?
Look,
apparently,
if someone is slitting your throat while they wear a netball bib, I feel like you're going to take them slightly seriously, possibly.
Well, I mean, Sportsmaster's somehow a villain, so
and then she dips her footy frank in the blood and.
Oh, yes. And yes, Casper, the fact that somewhere in the DC universe there is a dude called Sportsmaster who is just kind of like a shit off-brand Casey Jones. Yes.
Oh, he's a villainous PE teacher, isn't he?
No, that's a tautology. They're all fucking villainous PE teachers. Yeah. But you can tell because of their shitty little moustaches and their penchant for cruelty to young children.
Yeah, he was. I liked Sportsmaster in Young Justice when that was.
That was a good version.
He was pretty good.
That was the best version I've seen of him. Is the Young Justice version? I'm kind of terrified of what they're going to do with Stargirl going forward, but
just wait for her to go into Young Justice Series 4. She'll probably be in that.
I haven't even seen Series 3 yet. I don't even know where I can find it on.
It's the World Preview Network.
Yeah, you have to VPN it. It's not in Australia at all, but it's okay. It's pretty good.
It's all right. It's not the same as 1 or 2, though.
No.
Yeah. Sorry,
I think you go.
Rob?
Oh, I said I can wait a little longer for it to turn up on Netflix or on Blu-ray somewhere.
Was that Don't Bother?
No. It's good. It's just like it's not like quite as good. It's you can see that they didn't Zack Snyder it, but they got like a little like edgy. They're like, oh, they're all grown up now, and they're like it got a little edgier than it needed to be, kind of thing.
Part of the joy of the first 2 seasons was that they were still young. They were doing big world affecting stuff, but they were still young and kind of fun. If you don't have that, it does kind of become a little bit kind of like, okay, well, it's just another Justice League.
Yeah, I mean, there's more like young characters, but yeah, it's still a little.
Yeah. Pokey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about being late. I had a really big dinner, and then the dinner nap happened.
Oh. It's fine. There's no pressure. You don't have to be here. I mean, I wasn't here last week. We've moved on just for a little bit into Young Justice, but we're also happy to talk about whatever. Did you enjoy our episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I did, actually. This one was really good. I felt that we're fun. Like, this is halfway, right?
Oh, shit.
Well, that's 6.
Isn't it
6?
6?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's 6, right?
So yeah, like it's fun seeing all of like this stuff coming together quicker than WandaVision, but also because these are hour-long episodes as opposed to being half an hour,
same amount of time.
It's roughly the same amount of time, really.
Yeah.
Tonight's episode was over 50 minutes.
It was it?
Yeah, it was listed at 53. Yeah.
Okay, but then again, I mean, does that also include the extraordinary amount of fucking credits?
It is a lot of credits, yeah.
It does include the usually about 5-6 minutes of credits at the end of every episode. Yes.
Yeah. So anyone who's like, oh yeah, they're really long episodes, I'm like, they're not that long. There's a lot of people who worked on this shit.
It's funny. I was noticing like how much you could tell that even Madripoor was filmed in Prague. A little bit. Like it was like all the alleyways with graffiti all kind of look the same and they all look like Prague, even though it was Madripoor a little bit.
Yeah, though I gotta say, I fucking love the look of Madripoor.
Yeah.
I was really into that. Like the style of it, the kind of, Southeast Asian big city, but at the same time, a history of pirates and stuff like that. So it had a really distinctive look. I was like, oh shit, yeah. And I like the fact that, a lot of it looks like it's shot in Prague, but that at least makes it feel like these are, they've spent some money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, like it wasn't all filmed in front of the green screen. So
no.
Yeah. And they really sort of nailed that aesthetic of just stuff on top of other stuff that a lot of sort of that Southeast Asian sort of cities have, where yes, okay, floor 1 is technically a cafe, but there's a bar, there's also a this and a this, and there's actually 7 things inside the one building. So we've got to pack all of that signage on it somehow. Yeah. And it's sort of I think they got that really well.
Yeah. It's very like inspired by Kowloon, like the walled city from former Hong Kong, I guess, back then.
Yeah. Oh, look, I just dig it because it feels expansive and it feels like, this is a story that is kind of happening all over the world. And I always compare it back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where you're like, yay, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is great, but when they go to anywhere in the world, is very clearly a backlot somewhere in LA.
Yeah.
And you're like, I know that this is how you're doing it, but at least this feels like it has budget behind it.
Yeah. No, they're not using any volume or Unreal Engine for either of the Marvel shows.
Wow.
So far.
That is surprising to me in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, something like this, like an episode set in Madripoor, I would have thought would have been a real good opportunity to use a volume type thing. I suppose apart from the fact that you need shit tons of extras as well. So
yeah,
But I
no,
think,
it was all, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was all pretty much filmed in Prague and like a little bit in Atlanta at the end, but Atlanta doesn't have the volume that's in LA, I think. So
right, what are you going to say, Paul?
I was going to say, like, with COVID travel and whatnot, like, they would have gotten them to one location and then shot as much of it as they could without having to jet back and forth and all over the place, because they wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah. Well, they were in Prague, and then someone got COVID while they were filming it, and then they had to stop for months, and then went back to Prague again and finished it eventually. But it got delayed like 2 or 3 times because they were shooting the whole thing in Prague.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it looks great. That's the thing. It looks great. Though, okay. Do we have any moments in this week's? I mean, I kind of also wanted to look a little bit at last week's as well, just because, you know, there was some good stuff in there. But are there any other moments in this week's that you kind of go, okay, that didn't work for you? Because I have one. I just want to give everybody an opportunity to say theirs first.
I feel like Sam kind of has a little bit less to do whenever he doesn't have his wings.
Yeah.
I feel like he's definitely playing backseat to Zemo and Bucky a lot more.
Yeah, and Bucky's not letting them move the seat forward at all. Okay. Yeah, I can go along with that. I mean, this one, it felt like Sam was kind of a bit of the butt of the joke. Like,
yeah, I think that's also that, like, in this episode, like, Bucky really took the plot of the show in his hands and maneuvered it, right, without him knowing. So that's kind of why he was, like, along for the ride a little bit. Like, he probably felt along for the ride in that situation. So he's just getting, like, dragged from situation to situation.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Falcon's never really been, like, the tactical mind of them all, really. So when Bucky's like, I've already got a plan and it's already happened.
Yes, it happened 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, he didn't even tell him that it happened. He just walked in. He was like, what the?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, suppose
someone
someone went to all the trouble to do this. How would you feel?
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
But it also means that, like, he is then very reactionary, which can work. And I think Anthony Mackie does it really well. But yeah, I would like to see more of Falcon trying to drive something.
I'm sure that will turn around as the show goes on, because like a lot of that first episode was really sort of Falcon, you know, being in more of a leadership role than he has been before. So I'm sure, like, you know, once stuff starts happening, that, you know, that will flip around again.
But he didn't really show his leadership capability in the second movie, because he pretty much jumped out of the plane and it was like, if Bucky follows me, Bucky follows me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. You know, I'm going ahead with this anyway. And then
that's leadership. Don't worry about the underlings. You just shut up and do what I do.
What's the plan?
And well, episode 2, we lost the best Avenger, R.I.P. Redbird.
Yeah.
But now they can replace him with a real bird and get like some nasty PETA ads made about him.
I like that. So my big problem with this particular episode, and I mean it's not even a huge problem, but it was the moment that I was like, was the conversation between Carly and Australian guy. That to me felt like it was clanging the whole exposition bell. It was like, we need to get some exposition in for these characters. We need some backstory. Right, let's have a big old fucking exposition moment here. And I was just like, oh, it just, that to me felt really ham-fisted, and I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, look, everyone, you know, let's just say nerds aren't exactly like welcoming of earnest activists. So it doesn't surprise me that you, of all people, would be like, ugh, earnest activists.
Hey, fuck you, man. I go to the marches. I'm a proud feminist.
I know.
I occasionally just the wrong side of racist, but no. No,
wouldn't say
I'm
that.
not.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I occasionally just have those moments where I say a thing and go, yeah, that's not how I really wanted that to come out.
I will say
just,
for all my
just be an Australian
for the YouTube record, Quinny's a lovely guy and totally not racist.
Thank you. Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
Yeah,
but no.
He is definitely not a horrible person.
He's not forcing me to say this right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I do have that feeling, like I believe in the earnestness of their cause and everything. I just felt like that was a kind of goofy way to try and express it all. And hey, do you remember how scared we were when we got that that shot? I was like, this is not a thing that people talk like. That irked me.
Yeah. Also, I didn't realize they were vaccine skeptics. That's really villainous.
Oh, hang on. Fuck it. They're anti-vaxxers? Fuck. Now, sorry, you were going to say, Rob?
I was going to say, it does lean into that whatever super soldier serum that they're taking may not be as perfect as what Steve Rogers got back in the 40s. So I think we may be looking at some kind of side effects just creeping in here a little bit.
Well, in the comics, if I did my reading right, the Power Broker didn't have the actual super soldier serum. He had like another similar thing, right? It wasn't the actual one. Yeah. So if this guy's reverse engineered it, it's probably not exactly the same.
Yeah, remember he reverse engineered it from Isaiah, which means it was not perfect to begin with. No. And then he said that he edited it and made it better and made it. But anyone that's sort of in creative knows, if you take something that's kind of garbage to begin with, you can try and make it as perfect as you can, but it's still garbage to begin with.
Yeah.
Garbage data. You might be right.
Garbage data out.
Yeah, so you might be right. There might be some kind of weird stuff going on. Does the super soldier serum come with 5G though?
No, it comes to 6G.
Oh Jesus! Calm down.
Well, that causes super cancer and super autism, so that would explain it.
I love my super autism. That's amazing.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
I will say, no horrible
it's okay.
People intended.
Yeah, no. And considering how many. It is the thing that I find interesting. This is completely off topic. The amount of people who are on the autism spectrum who you find within nerd culture. Like, there is something about nerd culture that just calls to people around who have that particular brain. And I always find it fascinating because it's like, is it the fantasy element of it is so appealing, or is it that reality is just kind of shit?
I think it's a bit of that, and like all the lore and like, being able to like obsess. I think because they get like a little obsessive about things in my sort of limited understanding, and so like if they have something to pour over and really dive into, then like
Yeah, the nerd culture across the board, whether it's comics, whether it's even video games, movies, books, whatever, there's always something to do a deep dive on.
Oh, yes.
Unless it's like a completely brand new thing. But even still...
holy shit.
That still, you can look into it and yeah.
if the group has shown us anything, it's that people can postulate on things with no basis as much as they want.
Mephisto, totally. Everything's Mephisto.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, and you're right. And I think like one of my other things that I get into is Destiny, and that was a game that when it came out, everyone's like, "Oh fuck, this is terrible in terms of its storytelling. This is badly written. This is really fucking. There's nothing in it." But there were these little nuggets
of that.
yeah. Literally, there was a nugget of lore that, it had come up and say, hey, go and look at this website. And there was somebody who went and looked at those websites. And then those somebodies wrote fucking huge spiels of text and turned them into extraordinarily popular online videos. And you're like, there is something for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah, I will say, speaking of something for everyone, a certain superhero IP I've had the pleasure of being involved with over the years that Quinny sort of knows about, sort of doing a quick little YouTube scroll of it the other day. And someone had a YouTube channel called Vor in animation. And Vor relates to people who have the sexual desire of being consumed by another person, and they had a clip from an episode of that show for someone's titillation, which I found quite. So there really is something for everyone to get obsessed about. There's also several videos that are being clipped out of girls with scuba tanks. And that kind of thing from that show as well. So
is that another thing that girls with scuba tanks is a
also girls tied up in animation and all these.
So what's Armie Hammer like in real life?
I found him delightful, and he only ate a little bit off my finger, so that was nice. But he's not. I wouldn't say he's a. He's a close, an emotional lover. But he really chows down.
Does he go down south with your mouth?
He does.
Oh,
but
good. Then Adelaide is for him.
But he takes it all. But he takes it all with him. He definitely swallows.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh. I was going to say, Casper, your friends aren't around. They're not listening to this, are they?
No.
That's good.
They should be. This is classic content.
Yeah. Well, yes. This is the stuff.
This is true content. Yeah.
I'm just broadening your audience, Quinny. It's all good.
Thank you. Yeah, you're also broadening my mind.
We'll get the fetishists in the next.
Good. Well, hey, look, if we're doing that, you know what? It's back to the feet. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Periodic.
Oh god.
This is periodic table of fetishes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just wondering what. Now I've got to take my socks off because I'm actually quite sweaty.
Oh.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah, you can sell those socks,
Yeah, the socks are off, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There's feet. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Look at that viewer count shoot up. Holy shit.
I mean, look, there's a website out there called WikiFeet, which is a celebrity database of foot shots of celebrities. So, whatever. We'll add you to it, Quinny. It'll be fine.
Good. I think your definition of celebrity is a fucking broad church, my friend.
It's okay. So is WikiFeet.
I do want to go back to Nick's comment there. There's something aspirational to the idea of what makes you weird is what is exceptional in superhero. Absolutely. I love that idea that, the thing that other people look at you and go, fucking whatever, weirdo. You go, no, I actually saw a video about this earlier in the week where somebody who was saying, this is like a influencer guy who was talking about ADHD and saying, yeah, ADHD is a superpower, man. And somebody else who has, bad ADHD, like Gesundheit.
Sorry.
That's okay. Came back to them and just said, it may be for you, but it's not for everybody, Chief. Because You know, I can't remember how to get out of the fucking house without, you know, having to do the same thing 3 times because I've forgotten to do it. I can't hold down a job. I have difficulty keeping friends. I don't go out very often because I keep fucking forgetting what I've gone out for. You know, this, for some people, it's a superpower. For other people, it is your kryptonite. So, you know.
Well, that's like the weird Hollywood, I don't know if it's obsession or weird fascination with making autistic people basically supercomputers and misrepresenting the disease in a lot of dramatic ways.
I think a lot of that is, I mean, Rain Man has a lot to answer for.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, like, I'm pretty sure there's this one, like, autism organization that most autistic people don't really like very much, and they're like very much have built like a lot of relationships in Hollywood, and they were very apparently the only ones consulting on Sia's autism film, which is better left untalked about. But so I think, like, you know, there's a lot of like people with agendas involved in that sort of thing, as well as with everything.
Yeah, I've been interested that that film has gotten a lot of very, very angry people back against it, and I mean, it sounds fucking awful. Like I watched a clip of it and I was like, oh,
deservedly
wow.
So yeah,
I'm going to change that banner because this is not talking about kinky shit. Yeah. I mean, well, who knows? With all of the internet out there, I'm pretty sure that somebody else's autism is somebody else's kink. So,
yeah. Well, if girls turning into tanks can be a thing, why the hell not?
Please explain.
Oh,
that's what Tank Girl is.
Yeah. No, I've seen Tank Girl.
Different Tank Girl.
Oh, okay.
You've not seen those anime clips where the girl transforms into a tank or a battleship of all things?
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Well, now I'm going to Google it.
Transformers here.
Yeah, so there's Girls in Panzer, there's Ken Cole, which is Kante Collection, and it's like, and they've anthropomorphized World War II tanks and boats and warships as anime
like
girls.
Thomas the Tank Engine or like Budgie the helicopter, right? But with like
tanks
and weapons.
No, it's not that wholesome.
No, I know what you're talking about now. So last week the big talk was about the ship that was stuck in the Suez Canal, and then
is this what we're talking about?
Oh,
what?
Is this the thing we're talking about?
She turning into a battleship, yeah. Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to turn that down a bit.
That's it's my chosen kind of anime, so I don't really know much about it.
I don't know what I'm watching here.
On this magical girl note, I'm going to have to drop out. So I'll leave you guys to sink each other's battleship.
Yeah. So
thank you, Baron Emo. I appreciate your input and look forward to.
It was an existential horror to join you.
I will always enjoy your interesting take on the world.
Thanks, I hated it.
I think Predator can get brought up a good point though, with autism.
Okay.
Thanks, Will. See you, mate. Okay, now go. Sorry.
Predator can get brought up a good point about autism in the movie The Accountant. I don't know if you've watched it. Actually, not a bad film.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and also Angels Devils, great representation for autism. In the sense of that it's less supercomputer, more obsessive attention to details. Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I mean, that's the one with what's his name?
Batfleck.
Batfleck, that's him. Yes.
And Anna Kendrick.
Oh right. Okay, I like her. I enjoy her particular brand of weird.
She is,
Oh.
yeah.
Speaking of Anna Kendrick, she's got a new movie coming up. It's called The Passenger. And
Oh yeah, yeah, that looks really interesting.
yes. So the premise is you got 3 astronauts on a long-term mission to Mars, Mars, and somewhere on the way they detect that there's a 4th person on board.
I just
And-
remembered the name of it. It's not actually the passenger; it's the stowaway.
Oh,
Yeah,
the Stowaway.
that's it.
All right. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm gonna whack up the trailer so that we can have it while we are talking about it.
And then
We're not gonna use the audio because fuck that.
So basically, it has this Hitchcock lifeboat in space feel to it, where you got enough for 3 people, but there's 4 people. So which person do you sacrifice so the other 3 can live?
Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea, and I like and apparently it's actually based on a another short story. I can't remember who the writer was, but yeah, it's quite a good idea. You know, here's a what do you do? What do you do?
Yes.
Do you kill someone, or do you sacrifice everybody, or do you turn the whole fucking ship around and waste potentially millions of dollars? Or billions of dollars.
I think this will be fun to watch.
No, I've played Among Us. Just yeet them out the airlock.
Yes, that would also work.
And just the cast that's in this. You got 4 people in an enclosed space. It's just, it looks like it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into. I think there's a whole bunch of these movies that Netflix have been putting money into. Like this year, they were kind of like, "Fuck it, we're just going to release a movie every month, or every week or something," wasn't it? Like they did a big promo saying we're releasing a brand new film every week. And yeah, I feel like they've put a lot of money into this, and they're in a lot of cases. They look good, but they're still relatively small budget.
Yeah.
There's
some gold in there. There's some gold in there if you can look for it. The problem is you just get bombarded with a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the fact that it's got the cast it has and looks as good as it does, you're like, right, yeah, I mean, it's probably not as impressive as what's the other one? The one with Sandra Bullock.
Gravity.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a bit of Netflix boom.
I never watched Gravity. Was that any good?
I liked it. I liked it for what it was.
I enjoyed it for what it was, but there was one fucking bit in it that annoyed me. So I kind of hit that point with it where I was like, oh, why do you have to do that thing where you're fucking with science? Everything else was super, super scientifically based. And I was like, yeah, cool, I'm in for this. That's fine. But then, yeah, they just kept on doing that thing of going, let's have a look at that. So there's a moment in it where they go a bit like it's just one moment where they do a thing that the science doesn't work, and for me that just fucked me off for the rest of the film.
It just took you out of it.
Yeah, like especially because they were pushing so hard for it to be a hard science film. Like, with everything. I mean, admittedly, this doesn't look that hard science. This looks like fucking crazy action shit. But the main point about it being that when you are in space, you don't have inertia works differently, and there's no drag or anything. So, and they seem to be really good with that. Like there was up until this one point where I just went, God damn it. So yeah. But good concept. Well done. Very scary. like and not in an aliens kind of scary, more in a like, fuck, that's a terrifying idea. Imagine just drifting off into the black of space. Terrifying.
Well, I went into the screening of The Martian not knowing anything about what that movie was going to be about. I knew nothing about the book. I just knew it was Matt Damon once again stranded somewhere that he shouldn't be. This time on Mars.
Yes.
And I was thinking, oh, is this going to be just him dying alone on Mars with a very sad ending? And I just enjoyed the shit out of that movie. That was bloody brilliant. Fuck it, just going to slice the shit out of this.
Yeah. Yes. And it is an enjoyable kind of science fiction, because even though most of it is still.
I know the first 10 minutes, you have to take with a grain of salt, because the high winds on Mars isn't going to have that effect, but the rest of it just felt okay.
Yeah, and Meat Shield, that's pretty much it. Clooney floated away because of plot. That was the thing that annoyed the shit out of me. Like there was a moment where it was like he had to float away, even though the science, of what was going on would mean that he hadn't.
It was very much they could both fit on that door, but because of the story.
Though I will always love, I think it was J. Michael Straczynski when. Sorry, we're going back to Babylon 5. Hey, hang on. Let's hang on. Let's just make sure that everyone knows it's Bab 5 time. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go. Bab 5 time. My favorite thing about it is somebody at a video thing, like a convention or whatever. Somebody asked him, and in typical wonderful nerds, what is the exact speed of the White Star ship? How exactly fast does it go? Because it seems to vary between episodes. And he his answer, and I did love it because it's so him, was basically just the White Stars, they travel precisely at the speed of plot. Their ships are powered by need. They get there when they need to get there, and not a minute too soon and not a minute too late, unless I want them to. It's like, yes, absolutely. Perfect.
Well, that was kind of like Sam in the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. You're either early or you're late. You're never on time.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm looking at Babylon 5 going, wow, I love this show.
Hey, wait, is that Harvey Keitel?
No, it's random old guy. I can't think of the actor's name. But
it looks like current Liam Neeson.
Yeah, it does. There you go. There's the White Stars. Oh no, they're the other things. The Star Furies.
I never saw Babylon 5. It's definitely the one part of Star Trek lore that I know the least about.
Well, yes, because you just called it. No.
Yeah, it was a great spin-off from Deep Space Nine.
Oh, I'm thinking Deep Space Nine. Yeah, I haven't seen that either. But Babylon 5,
Babylon 5 is its own universe. It's
okay.
Yeah, completely separate and independent. Yes, so that was just a perfect thing that I would have gone, wow, that was great trolling, but then I realized it wasn't you trolling.
Just me being an idiot.
Bab 5 was just its own beast, but and the thing I love about it, all of those wonderful CGI things that you're seeing there were all rendered on a Commodore Amiga.
Oh.
Yeah.
The power of necessity.
Absolutely. And they did a pretty fucking good job of it for the time. Like, we're talking, what, mid-90s?
You can have dodgy special effects, but if you've got a good story and a good cast driving it, you can overlook those bad special effects and, maybe the repeated bloody CGI being used over and over again. But if you're doing a good story and you've got a great cast of actors who are telling the story, then your show is going to be a winner.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, look, you gotta love the cast. I mean, Ivanova was just one of those characters. You're like, wow, she's a badass. Like, she's and if memory serves, wasn't she gay? I think the character, or maybe the actor, I don't know, but it was one of those ones where you're like, oh wow, that was progressive for its time. But
Kind of like that episode of Deep Space Nine where you had your first on-screen kiss between two women. You know, Dax and someone else. You know, that was terribly progressive for its time, and because it was, you know, played at 11 o'clock at night on a Thursday after the football, no one ever saw it.
Absolutely, and nobody noticed and nobody cared. And also because in the context of the episode, like Dax was kind of masculine, like, you know, or was a man in the past. So it was like, well. And then again, I mean, Star Trek was never particularly shy about, you know, going for a bit of titillation either. I mean, you've only got to look at 7 of 9 and how they handled her throughout all of
all those org implants.
Yes, them. That was them.
Yeah, the Borg enhancement.
Yeah.
Babylon 5 went for a while, right? It was like 5-6 seasons.
Yeah. 5, if memory serves. I'm struggling to remember.
I couldn't say.
Oh,
you go, Voyager.
Yeah, there you go. There's some
Voyager I've probably watched the most of.
Okay.
I never saw the conclusion to Voyager. Did they actually make it home?
Oh, buddy, it's one of the fucking worst episodes to end a season on. It's one of those terrible moments where they go, oh, okay, we've got to get home. We've got this complicated plot. And then whether they fucked up on the budgeting or they just ran out of time, but there is a sequence at the end where there's Borg ships and a transwarp conduit and Voyager, and something happens off screen, and then suddenly Voyager is back at home, and you're like, what?
Okay.
What the fuck happened there? I remember watching it and just being so completely confused by it because it just was so badly put together.
Yeah. I loved the first 3 to 4 seasons of it, and then it just kind of got a little bit, I don't know, it just didn't seem to go anywhere. They weren't getting home. They were just forever stuck in the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah. And I think they probably realized that at some point in time and went, oh, maybe we need to actually get a little bit closer to things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good show, and I think it had a lot more of the Star Trek feel. I think a lot of people found that Deep Space Nine was a bit too different. Whereas personally, I was a big fan of Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine is my favorite of the 3.
Yeah. It just has that interesting thing that, like, it's about something, you know, a lot bigger than just going to strange new worlds and exploring and Monster of the Week. It's about politics and, you know, the weird interactions between religious extremists and military might and commerce, and it was trying to talk about the real world and shit in a way that you just couldn't get away with in the other ones, because it was, I think you had to build up time with it. You had to spend time with the characters.
And poor Ensign Kim, he never got past being an ensign. All that time stuck in the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah,
but he saving the day on a regular basis, and he was never promoted.
I know, but he was also a dick, so it's okay. He was always one of my least favorite characters. Yeah.
I tell you what, one of my favorite episodes from Voyager was it was one of those regular, you know, holodeck goes wrong type thing, but the holodeck was stuck in a Flash Gordon style movie. So it was all in black and white. You had your typical Ming the Merciless type thing there, and it was just brilliantly done. It was all done in black and white, and Tom Paris had this real kick for the early 20th century film and TV, and this one episode was just dedicated to the very old style way science fiction was done. Good.
I do remember that one. That was fun. Tom Paris. He was kind of a dick.
I think he had some redeeming qualities to him, though.
He did, yeah, absolutely. I always got him slightly confused with the dude who was Johnny Cage in the Mortal Kombat movie. They look like Lyndon Ashby. They look almost exactly the same in my head.
I can see that.
Yeah, both tall, blondish, middle-class white dudes. I mean, we all look the same.
They all just blend in together, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have racism. I'm race blind. That's right. I was going to talk about something that I wanted to tell you all to check out. Now I'm going to type in its name and I can think of it. Fuck. What's it? Right. Sorry. Had to think of the word.
But in first, I've been watching Invincible on Amazon Prime, and that's been fun.
I know.
How many episodes have you watched?
3.
4.
Oh, that's out.
4.
Okay.
Oh, today, yeah. New episode will come out today.
Nice.
Oh.
I've started watching it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll come back to that.
No, go back to it. Go back to it.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I started watching it with my partner, and here we go. Let's whack a bit of that on the screen.
How far did you get?
About 5 minutes in before she was like, no, this isn't my jam. And I was like, okay, no, that's fair enough.
No. Keep watching to the end. Because I don't know, that the last 5 minutes, I can't say too much because it's going to spoil it. But yeah, just please keep watching. You won't be disappointed.
Oh, look, don't worry. I fully intend to. It's one of those ones that I've been like, oh yeah, I'll come back to that. Because I started watching it, I thought this is good. It's well made. It's got a hell of a voice cast.
I know.
Yeah.
So, once again, you got Seth Rogen as a buddy executive producer.
Yeah, right. Okay. I mean, I'm not always a massive Seth Rogen fan.
Not of his acting, but his exec producing of this and The Boys, and obviously he's just gone into his comic book and he goes, what else can I make today?
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he did Preacher, didn't he? Yeah.
And even though I hated the first season of Preacher, I heard that from that point onwards it got a lot better. I got angry just because I was a big fan of the comics of Preacher, and I felt like they kind of took a few too many liberties with it.
There's definitely some liberties taken in the ending and stuff like that, but I feel like I had a lot of fun with it. But I haven't read the comics either, so.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you read the comics, you do find yourself going, fuck, okay, there's a lot more darker shit in there. It's probably...
Oh, that's good. I like that then. Because my favorite part was Cassidy jumping out of the airplane.
Right.
Especially
yeah, there are things in the comics that and the way that Jesse is portrayed, I think I prefer Jesse from the comics a lot more than I like the one in the series. Shout out to Predacanga. Yes, Resident Alien finished this week. That's a series that I enjoyed 2 episodes of and then didn't go back to watch anymore, or 3, or however many we reviewed.
I'll have to find that and watch it.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how it's currently available here in Australia.
Resident Alien?
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't tell you how I got it, but yeah.
No, well, we know how we all got it. But yeah, I can't remember exactly how it actually is available here properly.
Another series that I started watching today was on Netflix. It's called The Irregulars.
Oh yeah, that started last Friday, if memory serves.
Yeah.
What are we thinking of it so far?
It's trying to be Guy Ritchie and it's trying to be Joss Whedon, and it's just not quite there. And I think because it draws a very long bow to be connected to the mythology of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, that's right.
It's I don't know. I don't know if that's helping it or hindering it, but you can see what the makers are going for. You can see what you can see the good part of it, but there's something that's just not clicking right. And I can't put my finger on it just yet. I'm not quite sure how to say it, but I don't know. It's just I mean, it's got some good ideas.
Okay. I mean, it looks pretty.
But,
it's an attractive looking series, but also, that doesn't mean that much.
But basically, the premise is so in Sherlock Holmes, he relies on the homeless kids of the underground London to provide him with tidbits of information. So shifting the focus, so the focus isn't on Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. The focus is on the homeless kids and what they come across during their travels. However, I don't know. It's trying to be Guy Ritchie with some of the dialogue. It's trying to be Joss Whedon with some of the supernatural stuff, and it's just not quite gelling together.
Okay.
It's good in some parts, and in other parts you're thinking, really?
And also, I mean, it's doing supernatural stuff too, which may be a bit of a stretch. If you're doing, because I mean, it's not like Sherlock Holmes spent an awful lot of time fighting demons.
No, except for his own inner demons.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. The Hound of the Baskervilles, but even that wasn't really a thing.
What's Predaking mentioned something about the Nevers? I've heard bits and pieces of it. I don't even know what it's about.
Okay, well, we're just sort of having a look at the trailers for the Irregulars, but let's bring up.
No. No.
I'm good to do it. I like having a look at things while we talk about them. That's my jam. It is a new series by the probably least favorite person of the moment, Joss Whedon, who, here we go, and away we go. So similar sort of time period, and I believe the theory on this one is it's kind of X-Men, but women in the Victorian England.
So V-Men?
Yeah, well, yes. With some Nick Frost, which is always nice. But yeah, so you've got a bunch of people with powers in a I don't know, a manor house sort of thing, and then it's the more I look at it, the more I'm like, oh god, it is just Victorian X-Men, isn't it? And that's fine. But yeah, I believe that Whedon's basically been removed from it.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that I read online. I think it may have been from an article from the Nerdy Bird or somewhere on a similar page, or the Mary Sue or something like that. Basically, it's kind of like Death of the Author. It's trying to remove Joss Whedon, the person, away from the body of work that he's done. And basically, the TV shows and the movies that he's made, it wasn't just him making it. There were so many other people involved with these shows. The actors, the cinematographers, the writers, the stunt people, the makeup artists, the VFX artists. There were so many other people involved that made these shows what they are. It's not all just about Joss Whedon. He may have had the idea, he may have been the director, but there were so many other people involved in bringing those ideas and visions to the screen that you can celebrate the actors, you can celebrate the VFX artists, you can celebrate every other person who's gone into making this TV show or this movie without actually, acknowledging that Joss Whedon, for all his for
whatever he's done.
Good, yeah, exactly. For all the good things that he's done with his writing and his directing, you can ignore him, and it just focus on everybody else who's involved.
Yeah.
I probably find that the worst way possible, but
yeah,
No,
I mean,
you go, fuck.
it's a tricky thing because if it's got someone's name all over it and their fingerprints and everything all over it, it can become hard to like sit there and go, oh yes, I enjoy this thing made entirely by some, there's some problematic people involved, but I definitely enjoy it, and not have people sort of turn their heads and kind of go, you what?
it's
Because there's there's a lot of things with like for example, going back to something we touched on before, like that music film from Sia.
Yeah.
Where you can look at and Sia's body of music is great. For what it is, for the genres and all the sort of weird stuff that she does, her music is genuinely good. But can you then take that away from that awful train wreck of a film that she made? And you look at it and you go, well, and yes, there were other people involved, but those people have done other things as well. You can be happy for them elsewhere.
It's a tough one because shows are not made by one person. They are made by, a whole group of people. And that it is really tough because I still love Firefly. I still think the first Avengers movie is great. I can't retroactively go back and change my opinion on that just because the dude who made it's a dickhead. He was probably a dickhead then too.
Yes,
but it's the same thing with what's her name? Fucking J.K.
Rowling.
Yeah. How do you deal with her?
The difficult part with her is that she wrote the books before they became movies, so she was directly involved in writing these books. So it's a lot hard, so it's a lot harder to separate her from her body of written works than say Joss Whedon and his body of film and TV and movie works.
Yeah, I saw a quote somewhere that was along the lines of when you watched or read or whatever the case may be, these things that were made by problematic people now, that they were made back then, the thoughts you experienced, the feelings you had, the enjoyment you felt, all of that is still very much real. But it doesn't mean you have to continue to support them now that they're, So yes, you can go and, you can enjoy Firefly and be like, that was a really good show. Maybe just don't watch his new stuff.
Yeah.
Or at least, or watch it and be like, yeah, that was good. And don't bring up any of the directing work.
Sorry, Nick's made an interesting point there. We're very fiercely tribal now. And if somebody does something worthy of being cancelled, they are cancelled by one tribe, but then potentially, lifted up by another. And, I guess Gina Carano is an example of that where, the left basically is happy to see her go, and the right's like, no, we will protect you. You can have a show with Ben Shapiro, and everyone goes, who? But it is an interesting thing, though, and the more fiercely divided we become, the less options there are, for finding a middle ground where you can, like, I still love the Ender's Game books. They're really great books. The guy that wrote them a fucking cockhead. The books remain well written and interesting and a very clever and insightful look at, violence and child soldiers and all that sort of stuff. That hasn't changed. It's very, very difficult.
But also, like, we are coming into sort of an age where it's good that people are actually sort of taking a stand on, hey, no, that's a shitbag thing to do.
Yes.
Get out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that can only be good moving forward.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
But you have to let people also change their opinions.
Yeah,
And grow
you
as
have
people.
to.
It's harder to ignore people who are literally saying it right now and they're not changing
Yes.
or apologizing or seeing that, oh,
Yeah.
maybe my understanding on this subject wasn't complete or whatever.
It's like that thing with James Gunn. Basically, you know, all the stuff that he wrote back when he was an angry young man, but he still finding his voice and working on the way to, you know, to be a better writer and filmmaker. That's the stuff he said way back then. It's not as if he made his whole career saying that stuff, and he's still saying that stuff today. No. He said that stuff back then when he was young and stupid. He's apologized for it. He's moved forward. He's grown up. He's realized that what he did back then was just totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
And he's doing everything he can to not be that person again.
Versus Serrano, who's still tweeting about awful stuff now.
And also there was another thing that I found interesting about that particular thing with James Gunn is the reason for his cancellation and where that information came from. It came from somebody who was trying to shut him up. Like it was a right-wing fuckwit who had decided this guy has been, you know, saying positive things. I want him out of the public eye. So let's just dig up old nasty shit that he said and go on. Let's get him out of the public eye.
Yeah. And his sense of humor has always been crooked as the best way to put it. He's never really hidden any of that though.
Yeah, I mean, just look at, you know, general internet discourse. Like, I was having this discussion the other day, actually. Like, general internet discourse, stuff that people said on the internet in general 20 years ago,
oh God,
you know, 15, 20 years ago, was just filled with epithets and slurs and just...
I have said it many times. There are 300 and something episodes of a podcast that I used to be involved in that are still out there in the world that I would be fucking horrified if people...
Looking back, you know, when Facebook does the, hey, check out this memory from when you're on Facebook 8 years ago, and some of those ones show up and I go, oh
I really
shit.
I'm glad that my MySpace page doesn't exist.
Absolutely.
Just like, that's an awful take. What on earth was... Oh, I was 19. Yeah, that makes sense.
We've got a Missy who has joined us. How you doing?
I actually don't know how this all works, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on right now.
That's okay. You're on the stream. If you want to be on the stream and seen,
we can hear you.
We can hear you. You're currently... Well, you do, and you were just having a smoke by the looks of it. So,
yeah. Well, also, but like, do I fit into like whatever this fucking? What is this? Like a?
This is a conversation, Missy. You're allowed to talk. We're just talking about shit.
Am I the blank one here?
You are. You are the blank screen currently.
Sorry.
There you are. That's okay. There is a small glowing ember, which I assume is your cigarette.
Is there? Yeah.
Occasionally, there it is. Yeah.
Is that what's happening? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, what were we talking about? Where did we get to?
Sorry.
That's
just
okay.
You know, like there is just general discourse from 15 years ago was awful.
Oh yeah.
I doubt you could pick any random person that had the internet 15 years ago, go digging through their stuff, and you'll find all kinds of heinous crap that you wouldn't say now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say everyone, but yeah.
Yeah,
Probably a lot more than...
you know, Yeah, you'd sort of throw a dart at a board and be like, okay, that guy, let's look at his MySpace or Facebook from 20 years ago. I go, oh, boy, okay.
Things that we thought were funny, things that we thought okay. And it's interesting that podcast that I used to do, Missy used to be on it occasionally. How you doing, Missy?
I discovered outside lighting.
Yay, well done. That podcast we used to do, if you went back and you choose any random episode, you'd find some shit that was probably deeply fucking inappropriate by today's standards. But the cool thing about it was we learnt as we went. And so we were saying shit, and there was this whole kind of thing for a long time. You know, the joke was, Quinny's gay. And then there was this whole big fucking thing about that everyone would make the joke, and then
sarcasm face.
Yeah, but then one of the listeners just sent us an email and just went, "You know that you've got gay listeners, right?" And we were all like, "What?"
Oh, really?
And we're suddenly like, "Oh shit, yeah!" Because I mean, fuck, we had tens of thousands of people listening. This is
not realize that was a thing.
No, because we were fucking 20-year-old dickheads who were like, we get to say fuck on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like, did you not realize that like a whole bunch of your queer friends were also like?
I didn't have that many queer friends. I mean, I had some that I knew of, yeah. But that's the thing. Like, you know, it was a thing that when we first started doing it, it was that whole thing of, oh, that's gay, this is gay, whatever. Yeah. And so it was kind of just, you know, it was just there. But then when you realize,
I don't think that you realize that you were quite inclusive. I think that you guys were innate in your inclusiveness. And so when you guys did like, yeah, this is a fucking gay joke, like the rest of us kind of went like, that's pretty good. Like, I don't think that you realize that was all kind of fucking innate in the stuff that you were doing.
I hope so.
Yeah, but we're talking about like if we went back to that, listened to it and got transcripts or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd look at it and go, well, these guys are clearly assholes, all of them.
Yeah,
but
look at what they're saying. Look at what they're talking about. Like, yes, you know, if you were there and you were part of it and all of that, like you got it, right?
Yeah.
But again, it was a product of its time.
Well, it's like that thing that I think I shared on Twitter, and I probably talked about it multiple times here because I think it's very good. Is that thing of when you put a warning on something, you're saying this is of its time, you know.
Yes.
And what we are doing now is of its time.
Yeah, and it's acknowledging that yes, we have said those things, or yes, this thing existed and portrays it badly, but we don't do it now because we learn.
Yeah,
I mean, Angel.
I think that there is a lot of scope to go like, yeah, we were being a bit of a dickhead and we were doing whatever, but also we're kind of having a jab. Like, I think that your acquaintances, so Quinny, you in particular, have a very broad spectrum of queer and trans.
Now, yes. Absolutely.
Well, now, but I think that you didn't realize 5 years ago that you did. And so you coming out with a lot of content that was very trans and queer friendly. Whereas Pope, fuck you, by the way, fuck you. So it's, you know, me and Pope, we go way back. But like,
yeah, I was going to say, just to clarify, there is a long-standing relationship.
Just to clarify, also, here's my middle finger, but also I love you, but also you're terrible. But like, Quinny, I think that the content that you and subsequently the stuff that you've come out with is very trans and queer friendly.
Now it is, absolutely.
I think that's really fucking important.
and like that is one thing that we're absolutely fucking keen on for Periodic Table, was that everything that we produce, the intent is to be queer, trans, LGBTIQA plus, everything friendly, but also progressive. Hi.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Jesus
We got
Christ.
a Juanita.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
How's that for scary?
How's that for scary?
Yeah. We are that is very, very scary. Hey, Juanita, how you doing, honey?
We have a dog too. All right.
Oh, good. Hey, Zach. Oh, actually, what is the dog called?
Yes, look at this fucking puppy. Look at this.
What is the dog called? Come on.
Zach.
Grand Nagus Zach.
Full name and title.
Yep. The dog is called Grand Nagus Zach, and I am very, very impressed by this.
I could hear Quinny's voice, and I went, "What is that voice?" So I thought I'd come and say hi.
Had to come out. Yeah.
Bye.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to see you. I work with Juanita, and we used to work with Missy, and probably will again one day.
One day, yeah.
I hope so, anyway. But yeah, like these days, like what we set out to do is be super progressive and very inclusive, and you know, that's one of the key things that we try to do. But for Cool Shite back in the day, fuck no, there was no mission statement. It was.
And that was the thing. It was really very closed off and quite particular to a particular genre or a particular point in time. Even me personally, for someone who is trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm fully trans, whatever. It's like, I didn't even know that stuff was going on. I didn't know that this was important in the context of the media that we're creating. Like, I'm still watching the stuff going on, going, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, education is always important, that sort of stuff, though. If you don't know, look it up. Sometimes it makes the world of difference.
Yeah.
If you're not open to
seriously,
if you're not open to the change, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah. And I think Greta Kenga brought up a good point of you talking that cluelessly versus maliciously.
Yeah.
It is, you know, context is always king.
Yeah, well, that's what Angel's Devil was saying. Was like, that's so gay used to be, you know, just a term that people would just throw around.
Yeah,
it's done more harm than good. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And yes, Jedi Vader huddled around a Zoom mic in a hotel bar somewhere in the early 2000s. Yeah. Like there were some of the happiest times of my life were either sitting at the Manor in Brisbane. Or you know, in a hotel bar. Yes, the Hilton. Getting fucking and recording these stupid podcasts that you know were just a whole bunch of people talking shit about, you know, whatever.
I don't think I recognize how important those podcasts would have been further on. Like if you listen to like 2011, 2012 podcasts that, you know, these guys did. It is amazing. I mean, also, fucking respect. These people are dead. Richard Hatch.
We're not dead. We're still alive. One of them is in the chat. Hello, Retro.
Bring out your dead.
You know what I mean? Like you remember the fucking good times we had, and then you recognize that, like, oh, fucking this guy's gone. This guy's gone from our life.
Yeah, and that is an awful thing.
The Hatch is a fucking devastating thing for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So this is just a little bit of clarification on it. There was Richard Hatch, who was in Battlestar Galactica and a bunch of other stuff, was a guest at Supernova with us and was the Hatch. And, you know, we'd make fun of him and he would take it really well. And then a few years, not that long ago, he died. And it was a fucking horrible thing where you're like, oh, shit. You know, the other day, the guy who played Baal in Stargate. Yeah. Was just fucking like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God. That crushed me. That absolutely crushed me. That he
Cliff.
died. Like he was, like I was 19 and I was going to stay at cons back in the day, and he was the guy that was there because we would cheat back in the day, and I was like, shit, that sucks. That was us. That was NerdCon 3000.
Yeah. He was a lovely dude, and you know, Retro in the chat there is like, cool. The Hatch was his first interview back in 2005. We're talking, you know, 16 years ago now. It was a long fucking time ago. I just also want to say, Baron Meatshield, hi, welcome.
Sup?
Evening.
He's muted.
No. I think he's. No, you've just got a very long lag between your mouth moving and the sound coming through.
No, I think.
Yeah, no, you are muted.
No.
Okay,
That sounds like mute. Yeah, it's like there's no sound coming out of there.
yeah, I was waiting. Yeah, look, when you, okay, you work that out.
Field or sound field?
Well, sound wave at the moment.
Right.
Sound wave superior. Yeah. Like we've gone down a very, very weird tangent here, down into nostalgia land. But you know, the thing I wanted to show you a long time ago, and I'm going to show it to you now because it's
sorry,
you know,
I interrupted that one.
No. Oh, fuck you, Jedi Vader. Let's hear from more of the chairs. Yes. And yes, a very good troll. Absolutely. Okay. So this is the anime that is currently available on Netflix.
Pacific Rim.
The Pacific Rim anime. And
is it good?
It's not bad. There's only 7 episodes of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering what that would be like.
It's
how much of Pacific Rim do we need to remember?
The robots fight the monster things. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, you need to remember that there's kaiju and there's Jaegers, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. And the kaiju bodies are toxic when they die. That's pretty much the...
Yeah, the rest of it. I mean, the thing I love about it, and I think is fucking hilarious, is that it's set in Australia.
Yeah.
They pronounced Brisbane wrong, right?
Yes, Brisbane.
Of course they did.
Yeah. But the best part about it is that it's set in Australia. There are precisely 2 Australian voice actors in it. And there is one who's an American voice actor who's been given lines like, "Oh, it's the worst thing in the bloody black. Oh, it's terrible. You drongo." And I'm like, "Oh no, what the fuck have you done?" What is he? No, she's gone.
Like a Rooster Teeth production.
Thankfully, no.
Netflix. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're probably thinking of Genlock if you're thinking of Rooster Teeth.
The fucking dick of Netflix. So.
They probably were. I don't know.
I'm almost getting Zoid sort of feel to what's going on.
There's a bit of that. I mean,
modern mech anime has gotten weird over the years.
Oh man.
Like, you know.
It does struggle a little bit.
Americans doing Aussie accents, literally the best. Is it though? No.
Robert Downey Jr. is the only one who can do it, I think.
Yeah. Hey, there he is.
There you go.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, long-time lurker. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Predakanga. Yeah, you're right. The ever-changing accents are a staple of Pacific Rim.
Which loops us back around. This loops us all the way back around to where I jumped in, which is Selby in Falcon.
Oh yes, yes, that's a very good point. Yeah.
Hang on, I've got to do my hair now. So who's Predakanga? Is he not in the like the faces? All you guys faces?
No, he's just in the chat.
Really?
Yes. So some people are just in the chat.
I really want to meet Predakanga because he's all up in your He's all up in
our DMs.
YouTubes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only one. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just put that in the background, just doing its thing.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm doing my hair in.
And yeah, I do agree. Ratray Pacific Rim is a modern classic. The sequel, Pacific Rim Uprising, is
Jesus.
yes, Ratray is in the chat.
No, but
yeah,
like, what's his name? Like
Jedi Predacanga. He's Black Seven Spades.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And yes, Jedi Vader, you can lurk in the chat all you want. Yeah.
I will have to bounce though, Quinny. I will. Yeah. I do have to bounce.
Yeah.
Got a whole bunch of stuff on tomorrow, so I've got to get an early night.
An early night at 20 to midnight.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I know. It's I've got a family wedding. My brother's wedding's like next week.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, we're all going to be here at 8:00 to go through everything, and I'm like, there's an 8:00.
Yeah, on a Saturday, on a long weekend. What the
on
hell?
a long weekend, Easter Saturday, you want 8:00? Okay, fine, all right.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but your family are kind of dicks. What up?
Right.
Well, it is nice to be having weddings again. Maybe we can be happy with that.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it was just one of those times where they knew everyone would kind of have the day off because it is Easter Saturday. So yeah.
Yeah, Subway
I
workers
do have...
in Maya Center. That's it. That's all they get off.
But yes, this has been fun. I'll check the VOD once it's all said and done. But yes, thanks for everything tonight. I will see you all at some point later.
Yeah, good chatting with you.
Shits and giggles.
Hey,
Missy's just,
I have been good lately.
You have. You have been very good.
You and I go way back. I think it's, I think it's earned.
Yeah, it's absolutely earned. Define good.
Yeah. Hey.
I love you, but also fuck you.
Right. Thanks for joining us, Bogey.
I love that you're no longer my problem.
And now he's no longer ours either.
Okay. That's fair. All right. Bye, all.
Bye.
See ya.
I haven't earned the right to shit talk you all yet, so it's all good.
Oh, no. You can shit talk all you want. The danger is you'll just get it coming back at you.
Well, I came on here with the name Meat Shield, so I probably had it coming.
Jesus.
Well, you stopped it coming, but anyway.
See, tonight I have learnt something, Missy. Oh, shit, yeah. Yeah, we have seen the latest episode. We're all up to speed here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
All right, spoil me.
Wow.
We're down to the kinky shit.
I was going to say, I feel like I really need to bring back that hang on, where is it? Quinny learns about kinky shit. There we go.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
I should have left that. I had the Mike Wazowski thing going on where it was just me hidden behind the label.
Oh, sorry.
Please tell me you did the thing. It was like
I'm on TV.
Your face was like, I'm on a t-shirt.
Wow. Don't what? Oh, there's. I'm trying to go back through the conversation of Rattray saying nope to something and then don't tell me who the Cylon is. Yeah, no, I have bad memories of learning out. Okay, so we're talking about Battlestar.
Yeah, I was going to say who the last Cylon on is. I haven't seen it, but it's already been spoiled to me. Like in the last only 2 years, though.
Oh man, I was literally we were going away on tour and we had some of the guests who were from Battlestar Galactica, and I was like, this is so good. This is going to be great. And then I was trying to watch the last episode to get caught up so that I didn't fucking get spoiled before we started doing the show. And then somebody was just like, oh, isn't it amazing how this person are all Cylons? And I was like,
there was like web series and you got to
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I
was
really
the thing. It was
hated
like
that.
the web series was possibly the best integration of the character arcs for a lot of the characters that ended up going on. So when you got to season 5 of Battlestar, none of that made sense unless you'd seen the web series. And I really love the idea of transmedia, but unless you're actually on board with, watching webisodes or whatever, it completely killed the series. I think that they were too smart to do it at the time that they were doing it.
Okay, so you're
there
talking
does seem
about
to be there sometimes seems to be this disconnect I find with like when someone has a series, right, and they might have had the whole thing planned out from the beginning. For a bad example, How I Met Your Mother, because I reckon that was the ending all along, but they kind of fucked up the storytelling along the way, and it evolved into its own thing. So, and the same goes with like if you have to just up the twists every other month, it starts to
Battlestar relied too heavily on the things that were not canon, and it really did them to their detriment because it was a really fucking good series and they were doing really, really well, but they forced you to watch a web series, which is not in itself a bad thing, but it just, in order to get the context of the last 10, 12 fucking episodes, you couldn't do it.
Yeah. It did have. Oh, hang on. I'm going to get rid of the kinky shit banner. That's not what we're learning about.
Kinky shit. No, we want kinky shit.
Okay.
I just think that Battlestar was before its time. I think that Stargate Universe was also before its time.
Agreed.
And
I think Universe got.
Say that it should have been released 5 years later, and it would have been amazing.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I think Battlestar was of its time, but tried to do things perhaps more daring than perhaps the audience was ready for. Like you're saying, the website.
They also
that's the thing, Quinny. Like if 5 years later they'd done the shit that Battlestar did, we would be absolutely on board for it. So gritty and dark, fucking times or whatever. And that's why I absolutely posit that Stargate Universe was before its time. It was too early to go into deep, dark, drug addiction and, kind of fucking depressive shit and blah, blah, blah. And I really think that it could have done well. It just was out of its time.
I agree. Now, sorry, Casper, you were going to say something.
Oh, she's so
pretty. I think I was just agreeing that Universe did get sort of the short hand of the stick. I still haven't watched it because I've heard that it never got a proper ending. It didn't do terribly well, and
Correct.
It didn't strike the same tones as SG-1 and Atlantis, which probably would have benefited a lot better from that time gap. So you could separate it from the others.
And that was the thing. It wasn't Universe and it wasn't SG-1. Like SG-1 and Universe and Atlantis was very schlocky, kind of comedic shit. But Universe was trying to do the Battlestar Galactica stuff. And it was all supposed to be dark and gritty and I just think that it came out before its time because Battlestar was only just making its mark, literally on the UN. I mean, we all saw the fucking shit that came out of that.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And Universe was trying to make the same, kind of. Oh God! Like
it was going for a similar.
It was very ambitious.
It was, and also it was tonally a massive shift away from the rest of the Stargate thing. And I think it struggled. I liked it, but it struggled because of that. And a lot of people, though, Angels
Absolutely.
Devils is saying Atlantis was better. Atlantis was different.
No, Atlantis is not better.
Atlantis was
SG1 will
great
always
because
be
it
better.
was schlocky.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was McKay doing cute shit. It was Shep doing cute shit. But they never got into the real integrity of the characters. And so here we are, even watching, shit from Battlestar right now. And they could have done that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
didn't, and they couldn't. I mean, we had Ming-Na Wen. We had fucking, old mate. Oh, God, what's his name?
David Blue, Robert Carlyle.
Thank you.
I knew you were going for Robert Carlyle.
Would have had a good fucking series. And I think it was before its time. I honestly do.
Yeah. I have no argument here. I just want to bring up this.
I've got to go. My battery's running out, so I'm going to say goodnight, and I'll see you all next time.
Rob, thanks for joining us, man. Next time, we're totally going to look at some Transformers.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That clip you showed earlier, like, what the actual hell?
Yeah. That's not the worst sin. That's not the worst sin of that series, though, I feel. It's what they did to my boys, the Dinobots, but...
Oh.
Look, I stopped watching after the second one. I was like, yeah, no, this is not worth it.
Wise move.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just like, seriously, like that. Someone wrote that. Then they rehearsed it.
They sneezed
then
it.
they filmed it. Then they put it in the edit. Like the layers that had to travel. And then
the amount
saw
of people that actually had to agree to it and say, yes, we're going to throw budget at this shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing that amazes me. We're going to buy the cars, we're going to buy the explosives, we're going to buy all these things, and then let you.
We want
do
our
this
brand
shit.
to be associated with this, right?
Yeah. I'm wondering whether any of the people who are on the brand management side of it actually read that scene with the Romeo and Juliet laws, because. If I was in the marketing team for that, I'd be like, sorry, you've got a scene about what?
That'd be crisis management right there. Like,
you've got a scene about explaining away your pedophilia. Sorry, Michael, you're going to have to explain this to me again.
I mean, so hang on. Even from a story structure standpoint, why is she underage? Like,
doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter at all.
Because the actress was of age.
I'm applying logic and reason to where there is none. So yeah, good point.
Yeah, no, she's underage because girl, and also because I'm pretty sure there was a thing with the director going, I think I'd like her to be underage. I think that makes her kind of hotter.
Oh, God.
Michael Bay's not cancelled yet, right?
Sure.
I'm sure he will be. God damn.
Oh God!
With Universe, was that ship that they're on was an ancient ship, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole premise because it was doing the whole sliders thing, right? Like it kept moving.
Yeah, well, they couldn't stop it. They didn't know how to stop the actual ship, so they just kind of had to keep going. And they could get off the ship and go to planets.
Laminator, fucking Kanga, whatever.
Yes.
I like the logo for Battlestar Galactica better. It looks like military CNN.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I had to agree with Jedi, though. I think the SQ1 really did struggle with the Ori and losing Jack from the team. As much as I love Ben Browder and Claudia Black.
Oh,
there we
Claudia
go.
Black. Let's talk about that.
Oh no, is this?
Let's talk about Claudia
This is the
Black.
last one. I mean, yes, I'm happy to talk about Claudia Black, but at the moment, I'm just putting people through some pain. This is a movie that involves Nazis and Merlin.
What? I never saw. This was the only Transformers movie I didn't actually go to the movies for because at that point I was just.
Was he doing this like over multiple time periods, or was it like Merlin and the Nazis in the same?
No, it was multiple time periods. But
okay, so it's even worse.
Utterly stupid.
So it's even worse.
Yes, it is. It is just mind-bogglingly stupid. But the thing that you look at is there are millions of dollars worth of CGI on screen.
So someone's getting paid really well, and
somebody got paid a lot of money for this shit,
and it still made money. That's the crazy thing. It made money. There was a profit from this.
Like they send it to China. Do you think they just like look at the dialogue and just change everything so it actually like there's a great movie hidden in there somewhere? It's just hidden behind some really shit dialogue.
I hate to tell you this, there is no great movie hidden in this. Most assuredly not.
Is that meant to be Unicron?
Not clear. Unicron in this film, Unicron may be Earth.
Oh, it's Metal Gear. What?
There's a plot. Yeah. Cool.
That looked like a Metal Gear.
It does look like a Metal Gear. There's I don't know. I can't tell you. I actually can't remember.
Excitement. Maybe it's a kinky thing. Like maybe people just like watching buildings get the shit kicked out of them, and
I'm
like,
sure they do.
Like Mark Wahlberg getting shot at.
No pain, no gain.
Oh, Pain and Gain is a fucking hilarious film.
That was fucking hilarious movie.
That's the first time I've ever had an inkling that Michael Bay has some level of self-awareness. Because like that movie is fucking terrible, but he knows it.
Like I liked The Island. I mean, what happened?
I liked The Island too. That was fun.
And what else? Oh, that milk commercial. That's clever.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So you can there'll always be helicopters in sunset because of Michael Bay. Yes, absolutely.
And like, give the man some credit. Like he does that slow pan around with like the weird ass color grading and the sun and the lens flares and stuff. Like no one can do that. Like they try and they just cannot quite get that aesthetic. Like if you could get his aesthetic and put it together with like
a good film.
Yeah.
Like make him a DOP or something. Like that would just be that would make it so much better.
Oh, R.I.P.D. Oh god, I keep forgetting that movie exists.
No, don't diss that movie. That was actually really good. That was.
Is that a Bay him?
No,
no one can think that movie is good.
Casper, I'd like to introduce you to Missy.
But it was good.
It is atrocious.
There you go. There's some.
Fuck you.
Ryan Reynolds gets shot, falls down,
Ryan Reynolds is
dead,
the best
presumably.
He does.
Yeah,
he's not dead
Ryan
anymore.
Reynolds and old fucker. What is this guy's name?
Mumbleface.
I will admit to a weird categorization for this. It's a bad, good, bad movie. Not a good, bad movie or a bad, good movie. It's bad, good, bad.
Okay, I'm gonna.
How much better would this be if he was just dead?
Good, bad, good. This movie was great. You can shut the fuck up.
Oh god!
Like, it's Jeff Bridges with the stupidest moustache in the world.
Oh, Jeff Bridges. That's it.
Yes. Mumbling and grumbling his way through another film.
The zooms are intense.
No,
is that a thing in there?
He knows what he's doing, and then fucking hams it up.
How do you kill a ghost? Like that's
special bullets.
You call Ghostbusters, of course.
Yeah, but like
bullets.
But they catch ghosts. Like there's like. You know, it's the Dr. Manhattan problem. Like you pull apart something that put itself back together already. It's like, why bother?
I will 600% agree with that. That is actually really good. So if you get Jim Bridges in anything, it's like, I'll go with that.
I remember watching it once and not.
I like Tron. Tron Legacy. Like not only
Tron Legacy,
firstly, but also.
I think I need to watch the first Tron to get Tron Legacy. I remember seeing it and just sitting like amazed, but like,
how
the fuck is going
on?
on?
Masturbating through the whole thing.
I had my dad there.
The best piece of Tron media is the cartoon that they did. I like the cartoon.
Tron Legacy.
Yes,
the aesthetic's amazing.
Yeah,
it's
like I love
good.
I love the visuals, love the style, and yes, the cartoon is incredible.
Yeah.
Actually,
Fuck
we
the
may even have a
cartoon.
little bit of sound of it.
No, the soundtrack was the best thing that came out of
This was the first. Was this the first time they tried to like realistically deep fake someone younger?
Maybe,
no,
yeah.
X-Men 3, they did a bit of that.
Oh, yeah, with Patrick
Oh
Stewart.
yeah. Oh, they might have just put Vaseline on his face. That didn't count.
Yeah, that Daft Punk soundtrack is just sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let us have a moment of peace and moment of love for Daft Punk.
Yeah. Daft Punk. Yeah, Daft Punk half made these movies.
I don't understand why they haven't done the Dread Pirate Roberts thing and just given someone new the helmets.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
The saddest thing that comes out of this movie is that, like, once the soundtrack is done, it's like no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like, once
How do you mean,
like
like
all of the dude, Michael Sheen? Is it Michael Sheen?
Yeah. Yes, he's in it.
Yes. And so when you see him do his thing, you're like, well, I've peaked.
Right. Well, but then again, I mean, there is still a lot more movie, but you're right. That is kind of the turning point where the movie gets a little bit long in the tooth. I mean, I love the film, but yeah.
Dude, this was...
I'm just glad that this was made before Sam Worthington could be cast in it.
Agreed. It's beautiful, and yeah, I will tell everybody whenever I can, go and watch Uprising, because that animated series is just fucking amazing.
I'm sad that they didn't get more out of that.
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yes, it is. Okay. Though inexplicably lacking the first 2 episodes, which is really annoying because they kind of, set up the rest of it.
If you're opening Disney, I'm sorry.
Are there other streaming services of the?
Oh yeah, you can
the non-sanctioned variety. You can find it.
Services?
Of course there are.
The plethora of Plex. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you're opening Disney Plus, though, you shouldn't be going to Tron Legacy. You should be going to the Mighty Ducks animated series.
Are you fucking serious right now?
Yes, yeah,
I remember that as a kid.
Quinny, throw up some Mighty Duck shit.
Oh, look, but I'm showing you the beauty that is the Tron Legacy. Uprising.
They're even doing that animated on 2's thing.
It takes a while to get
really
used to the.
Yeah. Is there? Does it do that Spider-Man Spider-Verse thing where it sort of mixes like animating on ones with? Oh yeah, because the backgrounds are moving on ones.
Yeah.
No. What is this?
This is Tron Uprising. This is the animated series that has what's his name? The dude from Lord of the Rings, Elijah Wood, is the lead.
Oh.
Has Bruce Boxleitner and Mandy Moore and
this is very
Aeon Flux
blue stuff. Yeah.
You get used to it, and the story is just really well told.
Yeah,
those eyebrows.
So is this animated series on Disney Plus?
Yep, that's the one. Well worth a look. If you like Tron, totally worth checking out.
I really need to watch the original. Like that's probably going to be the biggest lack of
yes and no.
understanding.
I mean, the original is a very old film, and
I think you'll feel like it's dated for sure.
But does it sort of explain the lore a bit? Like I felt very in medias res with Legacy. Like it's just there, and it's like, okay, I don't understand what's that. It's like the discs are important, but you throw them at people to make them go away.
That doesn't really help you in the first one either. Just putting it out there.
All right, good to know.
It's weird.
Was that Tron Uprising? Is that a series on fucking Disney or what? What's happening?
Yep. Yeah, you can find it on Disney Plus.
I'm pirating, so let me know.
Well, then yes, you can find it wherever the fuck you go looking for it. But
hey, Jared, if you're listening to this podcast,
you'll probably get.
It's like, hey Google, open the Pirate
Bay. Is this the Mighty Ducks animated series that you were talking about?
Yeah, this was a Saturday morning cartoon when I was a kid.
Jim Carrey's the bad guy.
Awesome.
Tim
And
Curry.
yes, this should cross over with Space Jam, create an entire new sporting animated universe.
Space Jam? Seriously?
Yeah, totally. Look at it. It looks like it should cross over with Space Jam. I love that they're actual ice skating ducks.
It's very Howard the Duck, isn't it? Like,
except they're aliens. What? I don't
Howard
know.
the Duck.
Quinny,
And they're the X-Men as well for reasons.
Are you legit, or do you like acquire?
I try to be legit wherever it's possible to do so, because I'm a big believer in people getting paid. Creators,
absolutely.
but if I can't get it in Australia for whatever reason, if it's, to be honest, if it's gone through Foxtel, I tend to be a little bit like, fuck that,
Also,
because
fuck them. Yeah.
Oh, this was amazing.
Yeah,
this is freaking amazing. I love this.
This is just a short animated film that came out, and it was Batman of Shanghai.
Was this a fan thing, or was this actually done by a studio?
Falcon Winter Soldier. So, what is that? Is that legit to you or no?
Oh no, I get Disney Plus, so yeah, and that's I get Netflix, get Disney Plus, get Amazon.
What are we watching right now? Why is that legit or not?
This is on YouTube, so if it's on YouTube, I figure that's open slather.
Fair game.
It's from
it's normally pretty.
Someone's getting revenue for it if it's on YouTube. So,
though I do struggle occasionally with that, because these will ping on the DCMA stuff. So when I go to put these recordings up on YouTube, I have to block out the video, which is annoying.
Can you change the hue and just flip them around or something?
Have tried.
It's really weird how well the copyright stuff fixes.
It's terrifying how close they can get. It's astonishing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am going to say it is 5 minutes past 12, which means that we have been doing this for 3 hours, and I am going to go to bed because I am tired. But those of you who have been here for those 3 hours, thank you very much. And to those of you who came in later on in the evening, thanks. It's been awesome.
Yeah. It's nice hanging out with you guys.
It's been great.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We will do it again, probably next week, I think.
Can I jump on? Can I jump on at 10 or at 9 next week, Quinny? Or is
Oh yeah, look, dude.
Do you have a raid? Whatever, like, do you have a throw over to someone else thing?
You make a really good point, and I forgot to actually do that. So let me just check who is around.
I was listening to a podcast for 5 hours today where they were watching the Wonder Woman movie, and they had to restart 5 times. And we got thrown over to some fucking rando chick. So throw me to some rando chick.
Okay, I'll see who I can find out there in rando chick world.
Raid someone, like, I'm all up for a raid.
Well, I can, but I generally have to know who they are.
Damn, this animation's good though.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I know how it works, so.
Like at the moment, I've got about 5 people that I know who to see who's live.
That's cool.
While that's doing its thing,
I'm just gonna throw to a rando, or what's?
I honestly don't know that I can, Missy. That's the problem. I'd need to find who's streaming right now, and then and generally, I don't want to throw to somebody if they're a complete dickhead. That's one of my
throw to someone pre-cancellation.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be throwing nice people at assholes.
Turns out they're a douche.
Find someone who's doing like bonsai tree snipping or something on Twitch. Like, they can't be mean or nasty.
There we go.
Honestly, I went through. I was at the point where I was 2% on my iPad battery, so I was like, I will throw to literally anyone. I'm a little slut for it.
Okay.
All right. I think that's my cue to say goodnight as well. Thanks very much, as always.
thank you.
Night.
It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Always. Ooh,
Okay, Nolopia.
But,
I have no idea
yeah,
who
I'll
that
talk to you
is,
guys
but-
soon.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
nice meeting you.
Good, Bunnings. Predakenga, you're a fucking ledge. Onions on top. Onions on top.
Always. Thanks, guys. I'm going to set off the raid, and we'll talk to you guys, everybody, again next week.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Catch you, mate.
Oh, and 8, 7, 6. God, it's a countdown. This is so tense. So tense. 3, 2, and away we go.